back to Play and Talk, and this episode, we're playing Fallout 76. What was the last game we played? Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. Oh shit! Wait. Okay. Oh wait. Could you hold your thought? Sounds a bit messed up. They're not hearing you. Properties. Default. There we. Okay. Can you hear me? Oh. Right. Sorry, I forgot to. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to unmute the thing. Was testing out some sounds earlier. Anyway, you were saying?
I don't know. I just only said what was the last game we played. Yeah, it was 76 for this last one. And then make sure to tune in on Sunday, because that's when we'll be doing Anthem for doing that. First time we did in a while, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that my brother really wanted me to play, and I forgot to get the milk from the Brahmin. Probably something you don't expect to hear every day. Damn it! I forgot to get the milk from the Brahmin before I kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing for one of the tadpole challenges as well, so it kind of helps there.
Yeah. The last couple of weeks was crazy. Both.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, both good and bad.
Unfortunately, none of it good. In fact, some of it definitely just terrible to hear about.
Garbage fire bad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I have okay, I posted a thing, and I am gonna post a bit of a warning here in chat. So heads up for anyone who have some pretty bad memories about this kind of stuff,
or just bad experiences, and we don't want to trigger those. Memories though, so it's kind of a fair warning.
Fair warning to y'all. Oh boy, this is gonna get.
What do you want to start with?
Let's do things a bit chronologically. So Randy Pitchford, who has a bit of a fit on Twitter after Game Informer.
I wouldn't call it a fit because that sounds petty. He was just setting the record straight on what that other guy, man, I can't remember his name though.
One of the writers from Game Informer. There's been some miscommunication. There might be some miscommunication.
No, not. Oh yeah, Randy Pitchford was. I'm getting the names mixed up. I was thinking of the guy who was. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, and not even a good one. I was mistaking him for the other guy though, the one who voices Claptrap.
Yeah.
Whose name I forgot about.
Yeah.
Mixed him up that. So my mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, singing for that one, which. Look, I get when it comes to when someone's saying something about your game, but I mean, at least from what I could see of the article, it wasn't wrong. Like, yeah, there were microtransactions in your game. There was that in Borderlands 2. So it wasn't exactly like, it's not like there was any sort of bad mishappening and they just reported it. But he's aware of the baggage that comes with, and so he was trying to do that.
Yeah. Unfortunately...
But even still, he went a very poor way of doing it.
Yeah, and the voice of Claptrap wasn't even going to be in the game for pretty shady reasons. Like he wanted to get paid, but they refused, and that is not.
I mean, honestly, he should though. If you're gonna do being a voice actor and also being an official developer, whether that's as a writer, designer, programmer, whatever, you should be compensated more so because you're doing more work than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, like, probably a lot more, don't you think? Alright. Oh, my brother's on. Anyway, yeah, so, apparently, the guy who voiced Claptrap, once again, I forgot his name. Apparently, he let out some details on Twitter that goes into some details on some pretty nasty things that Randy did, such as assaulting him, Pitchford assaulting him,
and lying about him being supposedly handsomely compensated when he reported, no, I was basically paid kind of just regularly, same as everyone else, and also that even then he wasn't getting the super amazing paychecks as Randy Pitchford was trying to make it sound like he was getting.
Yeah. That one was a shit set, and I'm not entirely sure if I would want to buy the game. Like,
So yeah, there was that massive shitstorm though, especially hearing though of the crap things though that either that and definitely some of the other goings on at Gearbox, which again, since I didn't work there, so I shouldn't be doing that. But even still, when it comes to any company, I always give them the benefit of the doubt because again, I would want people to do that with me. But seeing what was reported there, just Jesus, I can't really imagine a worse way it could have went out.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard there was a lawsuit involving some pretty sensitive data being kept on a USB drive, along with, get this, child porn.
So, unfortunately, lots of bad shit going there, though. And honestly, whatever Borderlands 3 turns out to be, I feel like this controversy is going to completely overshadow it, regardless of whether it's good or bad.
A lot worse than what's going on with, like, BioWare, and, like, MK11.
Oh, definitely way worse.
Yeah.
I mean, BioWare at least, though, because Casey Hudson even explicitly mentioned on Twitter that the reason he came back to it was so he could try to fix some of the leadership problems that were happening there. And they got Ben Irving from the, I believe it was the Texas branch.
Texas branch. Yeah, they worked on, sorry, the Old Republic, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, so they brought him along, though, and so it seems like they are trying to do so, and based on EA's recent conference call, they also seem like they were, that was something they were going to try to do, as well as definitely makes me most curious as to what they mean by they will be re-examining how they will launch their games in the future, because it sounds like there's going to be more fundamental changes to how that goes, so I'm curious how that'll go.
From what I've gathered, it's they're going to be doing smaller games.
That sounds about right, because I remembered when it was the so-called Motive Star Wars game that's going to be released in 2020, they also said that it was going to be a more smaller scale one, and truth be told, I'm completely for it. I honestly would like to see some smaller games be out there. I honestly think like it'd be a very nice change of pace.
Yeah, after like the Battle Royales and the open world games.
To use Marvel movies as my sort of analogy here, look, we don't need an Avengers Endgame every time we have a game. It's okay to just have your first Avengers or your Captain Americas or your Iron Mans. It's totally fine.
But we will talk about Endgame later, after Endgame later in this episode. Anyway, back onto the nasty stuff.
No, I just only said that as just a comparison because that's just what my mentality was with it, on why I say it's fine.
Yeah, and speaking of really nasty controversies, I'm pretty sure there are some people out there who have heard about what happened to Projared. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, repeat that last one. Sorry.
Projared.
Overshadowed.
Yeah.
Projared. Honestly, as shitty as that whole situation is, I wouldn't be lying if I said the responses didn't have me laughing my ass off throughout all of it.
Yeah, I was laughing too, but
like I was watching for one of them, like, responding to when Holly ended up saying, "Oh, I'll be here if you need me," and someone repeated that last part with a gif of like a yoga trainer like sort of spreading her legs. I just bursted out laughing when I saw that.
Yeah. Ooh,
like,
someone bumped myself.
But even still, it does admittedly feel somewhat shitty to do that, considering that this is a pretty serious situation.
Yeah.
And that it's really shitty that Heidi ended up, going through all of that.
Yeah, not only did Projared cheat on his wife, he also said was
grooming his younger audience girls to try to send him nudes, which was just really fucking disgusting.
Yeah, if you don't want me, I think would you find it a little weird if I find that a lot more concerning than the affair?
Admittedly, the reason why the James Charleston's didn't affect me nearly as much as it did some others is because outside of hearing about him, like say I know that he was with Screw Attack for a time, and kind of hearing about him on Game Grumps, I never really followed him, so I couldn't really never developed an opinion of him. But this exposure definitely was just a big woof. I can't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine how his fans feel about all of this. They didn't even go into a defensive thing either, like, outside of a few of them who briefly were trying to be like, man, maybe there's just some misunderstanding, but then just quickly went, nope, this is real shit. Like, he's been doing really bad stuff here.
Like with Projared?
Honestly, at least, on Projared. That honestly was pretty heartwarming to see that these people were not sort of just like, oh, I'm just going to defend this guy on anything that I could find of him. It's no, there's no line here, and he actually did all of this.
Yeah, and if you believe the rumors, he may have. It's only just rumors, allegations, and. Sorry, it's going to be really hard to talk about. It's like...
Oh, no, definitely.
Out of all the topics we've talked about...
It's not for me because I haven't experienced those things, but for people who have, I definitely can. Many of his victims, though, who he was using his influence to groom, though, they even came out on Twitter and like, Heidi, I am so sorry. I had no idea that any of that was happening. Or that it was just
me neither.
This.
I used to subscribe to him. Yeah, I used to subscribe to him for a while, then I unsubscribed. It's like, he's kind of boring now. But... I'm glad
at the time you didn't lose respect of him as a person, but this just crushed any of that.
Yeah, I unfollowed him on Twitter.
It's just like, oh my god, I just could not imagine. Yeah, as I said, like for his fans, for all that, and especially because of his wife, though, who definitely was the one who would be in the most like, I can't believe this fucking happened.
Yeah.
And definitely, I would say it felt very shitty to see some of the people when she was showing that Jared was apparently having sex and just having an affair in general with apparently another girl that he was working with, and then people were saying like, don't you think you should just keep that private? And it's like, as she said there, to quote her, she was fucking my husband. So it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd be pretty pissed off if my girlfriend was turning out fucking other guys while I was apparently completely oblivious to it. Especially because they were supposedly, as Heidi even said, her and Holly were very close friends at the time. So this feeling, that happening was even much worse of a feeling.
I heard that Holly was in the hospital.
I don't honestly know. I haven't heard anything about that. But, I mean, even if what I think was really shitty, I still would not want her physically assaulted.
Yeah, I don't know how she, what happened to her, how she got in the hospital. I just hope nothing terribly bad happens, even though that she got involved in her affair and stuff. I really want to watch.
I mean, I'm not honestly. I think it was makes her really shitty for that, but still, I would never say, yeah, go assault her though.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would say though that even if it says though in that same vein, I can't really say the same for Projared because I draw the line of my sympathy when you start grooming underage girls, aka your fans, to try to do shit that makes them uncomfortable. That for me is just a big whatever happens to you, I really couldn't care.
Same. It's like with us and Vic, Monokilov. I always get names wrong. I apologize.
Vic Mignogna?
Yeah, Vic. Vic. I can think of a pun.
Mignogna, that's how you say his last name.
I think of a few puns involving that name. Anyway, yeah. So, and he has lost a lot of subscribers. Projared. He lost his verified status. He lost his mod status on his own subreddit. Get this. He lost
his mod status?
Yes. On his own subreddit.
Oh, again, I don't really keep up with much of everything. I just go based off of
Twitter.
At least the things I could follow directly, but I did not know that.
Yeah, he lost his verified status on Twitter.
He lost his... Oh yeah, that's why I noticed that the blue checkmark wasn't there. When someone of his popularity, he should have had it.
Yeah, it's like a big damn oof.
Like, damn, it's just that... Again, just a really shitty situation all around.
Yeah, I really don't wish the best for Projared. And whatever happens for the rest of
I mean, as far as Projared's concerned, yeah, he deserves every single bit of shit that he's been getting throughout all of this, though, because again, this is something he did on himself. And even though I saw some people, again, very few of them, but still, it just comes with the territory that a couple of them are going to try to justify in some way, saying like, oh, it was just a mistake, though. People should be punished for mistakes. Cheating is not a mistake. You don't accidentally have sex with other people. You don't accidentally go and send nudes or want nudes from other people. That doesn't happen. Yeah. That's a fully conscious thing that you're fully aware of what you're doing. That's not something you could just do while inebriated or in some sort of emotionally troubled state.
Damn. And we don't even
So for me, on any of that though, like, again, any excuse of cheating though for me never flies through with it. I do not care about what your justification is. You never do it on any circumstance.
Yeah.
Break up the relationship to go with someone else, fine. Go, when it comes to any of that, you do what you want to do. But the moment that you try to go with some bullshit about how, like, the cheating thing was in any way justified, no, go sincerely fuck yourself.
Oof. Yep. And we're like getting into some of the fun parts with Mortal Kombat.
If I were to give some context as to why it seems that I seem very personally things with relationships, it's because that even though I've never had one, and quite frankly, I know that I don't really think I could be a good boyfriend anyway, so when I see other people treating their partners like shit, that will sincerely set me off. Or if you demonstrate on any level a sort of attitude that goes, yeah, you know, my partner isn't like super whatever with me though, or like as far as like importance for doing it. Like, it's basically the main reason why I couldn't even really follow Emily Grace anymore, because ever since I keep seeing her post dating advice, I never like sounding hyperbolic, but damn, does she post some of the worst dating advice I think I've ever seen another human being give. All of it sounds very much in this very, yeah, sure, you can be around with people, just make sure that you're at a good enough length to where you can basically drop them at the hat without really caring later. And that was just really just pissing me off from it. Me and my friend were talking about this in the car after I dropped off my friend's girlfriend at the airport. For stuff like that, since we were often talking about exes or girls though that we had in our past lives, but like in our past years, when we would say stuff like that. And that's why her advice do so, especially when it came to some of her sentiments, like you can leave someone for any reason at all, or in fact you don't even need a reason to break up with someone. Ooh. So me and my friend said, oh yeah, I'll take that advice though. So then I guess though, because I'm referring to my friend though, oh yeah, you're really dating this girl. So if you find some other girl who you find hot, just go hit her up and then just dump your girlfriend. And this was the other thing I led up to when someone responded to Emily Grace on Twitter saying like some article about how you shouldn't have to explain yourself if you're breaking up with someone. She's all, yeah, you should definitely not have to.
Wait, really?
I go, okay, that's even better. Yes, I remembered seeing that because I was so livid. I'm like, I'm just going to have to be off Twitter for a bit, because if I respond to her, I am not going to mince words, though, when it comes to that. So when she was posting, when I saw her even, like, she didn't outright post on it, but she was responding to someone being like, yeah, that's totally awesome. Yeah, that's totally acceptable for saying shit like that. That made me just fuming, because I'm just like, no, that is complete cowardice for you to break up with someone and you don't explain with it though. And keep in mind, the context here was not about abusers or people like that, to where I would say, yeah, get the fuck out of there as soon as you can. This was stuff where she was saying for some normal guy who you're not really having anything bad happening in the relationship, but for one reason or another you just don't feel satisfied with it. But yeah, it's totally acceptable if you just break up with him though, and not have to explain it. I go, no, you can justify that any way you want. That's fucking cowardice. You're just basically getting a way out just because you don't want to face up that you're breaking up with someone. If you're going to do so, do it for whatever reason you want. If the relationship just really is not doing anything, you feel bored, or just in general it feels constrained, by all means leave it. It's your life, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
The one condition, you explain to your partner why you're leaving. Well, it's gonna be, unless the relationship is like so badly deteriorated, it's gonna cause a lot of bad feelings though. It happens in these relationships that it's just gonna cause just a lot of stuff where you just are gonna feel very sad, very depressed, maybe a bit angry too though. That's understandable, but you explaining why you're leaving is something that can mean the difference between the person having a bit of a bad day though, like maybe if drinking alcohol is a thing that they do regularly, maybe they'll drink a little more than they should, or maybe that they'll just be very sad, just maybe want some friends to vent to for a while. But it can mean the difference between them doing all that, but still being able to emotionally repair themselves and then go into dating, maybe also with eventually understanding it, versus them having no idea why it happened and them easily forming the worst possible conclusions, therefore meaning that they could go out there and that decision ends up affecting their future potential dating lives, or may even just prevent them from dating altogether, because they'll just think that they'll just fuck up the next time.
Yeah.
So for me, so it's just like for her saying that, that's why I had to just unfollow her from Twitter, because I knew that if I kept seeing it, I knew there was going to be a day where I was just not going to mince words with her and she would block me. So I'm just like, Oh shit, I was wanted though. Whatever. All right. I didn't know that it was there though. But whatever.
Do you want me to shoot you?
That's where. Huh?
You want me to shoot you?
Yeah. You know what? Just take the caps I have though, and wait. Let me see though. First, what is my junk that I'm holding? All right. First, let me go to camp. Scrap all my stuff.
Yeah.
Actually,
there's a thing nearby. You can scrap your stuff and. Okay.
Yeah. I'll just go disassemble my stuff, put it in my thing, and then just kill me.
Effective way to effective way to get you out of here. Bring your friend over and then have them kill you.
Yeah. So
where are you?
Yeah, that's why like when me and my friend were talking about that, like that's why like for Emily Grace again having to unfollow her because like it was just so setting me off though. Because the way I go with this is that look, I'm fully aware that I honestly, as much as I'd want to date though, I know that there's no future that happens where it goes well. I know that I'll may be able to give her a few weeks, maybe a few months of happiness, then I say something stupid or insensitive, or I just do something that ends up fucking it up because the last 3 times I tried dating, that's more or less what happened. So for me, that's why I just go like, look, I'm not going to date because I just don't think I would be aware for that, regardless of how much I may try. So I want to make sure that at least other people who have the chance to date, I would encourage them to, and try to make sure to give them the most optimistic views, though. So when people like her say that, someone like her who definitely has had boyfriends in the past will definitely attract guys in the future, and having all that sort of things, and then her just putting this mindset of like, oh yeah, doing shit like that, like not explain to your partner why you're leaving, or also just abandoning them for no reason at all, that is just honestly what's going to set me off. Oh shit, that killed me quickly.
I have an instigating shotgun.
Oh shit, I revived myself.
How do you do that?
I have a legendary piece that allows me to be revived with a stim pack. Alright, do that again.
I'm going for the head, like Thor.
So basically, that's why it was just doing stuff like that.
There we go. Sorry, that's just
because it was just like no, I just honestly just could not. Okay, I could physically deal with that, but it was just that it was just setting me off though on that. Yeah. Because again, though, just wanting to make sure to do all that's good for your partner and such. Because I could certainly guarantee that if any girl were to come as to like what are the parameters of this dating relationship, whatever, and she said what Emily Grace said though, I'd be like, oh fuck you, we're not going to be dating if that's what you're going to view of me. Fuck that. I'd have no use for you then if you're just going to basically be more than happy that one day I will just wake up and for no fault of my own, you'll just go and dump me though for any reason though, or even worse, no reason at all. So honestly, fuck that. And honestly, if you hold that kind of view, in my opinion, you don't really deserve someone else's love if that's how you're going to view them. You can have those though, because here's the thing when it comes to as far as cynical mindsets go. As much as I may disagree with it on most levels, because I am for the most part an optimist, I honestly would say that depending on a person's background, I am more accepting of if they have it. To basically, as I quote Lando from Solo on this one, is I don't like it, I don't agree with it, but I accept it. Yeah. Because I can understand that if they have like really bad past though, and especially trust issues, I would be like, even if I disagree with stuff like that, I can be able to let it go, and I can at least I won't blame you for it because it's something that you formed because of your experiences. Okay, that's understandable. I won't blame you for that. But the moment that the trauma becomes something where you're actually more than willing to go and hurt other people, my sympathy for you does not stand. I will not care what you tell me. Your trauma will not trump your reasons for ending up causing harm to other people. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a very even still, it takes common sense to know that you shouldn't do that.
It's a very shitty belief and a very shitty situation with everything.
Like that's why again I was just not saying anything on it, and that's why I unfollowed her, because I know that a point was going to come that she would say something that would just really, especially if she kept saying it, set me off. And I'm just like, you know what? Don't do it, because I'm not going to put myself in that.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the best way to deal with someone saying stupid shit online or Twitter is to unfollow them or mute them and take a break from them for a while, because if you say something stupid, it may bite you in the ass.
Because while Emily Grace gives me the, she at least gives me the vibes of being a good person, though, in some respects, there are just other respects where, again, like specifically in that dating area stuff, that comes across to me as just her being borderline a shitty person.
Yeah, just like the mega oof. Nice house there, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I just set this up because I was feeling really bored with my one where I just had my out set up. So I'm like, I want to finally build myself a house. So I figured, okay, so I'll just do something simple because I lack imagination. And so
Yeah,
that's why
I kind of like imagination with interior design. Anyway, let's close this off on the Projared bullshit because, yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah, but for the Projared stuff, though, that was, yeah, because going back to that, since we were off topic, it's just that, yeah, it's just that for me, that's just some really emotional stuff, though. Like, I'm not going to say there aren't a lot of things that get my emotions up, though. A lot of things do. But I would say when it comes to relationships, that's easily in the top 3 things that really hits me emotionally, though. Because, again, though, like, for me,
very personal.
I definitely am a person. It's very personal. I feel love for other women who I become close to very seriously. What the hell is that?
That's your statue. That's your statue. If you approach it, there's like a nuclear explosion. It's harmless, though.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, anyway, back to what I was saying. But yeah, that's just things like that which do get me very emotional. And I just always want to make sure that that whatever happens, I always want to make sure that she ends that any girl that I like, even if I don't think that there's a future where like me and her are dating and such, that at least I do what I can best do to make sure that she's happy, either until we part ways or she's just with some other guy or whatever. That's why it is, though. So that's why when she says things like that, where the language starts to border on feeling like you don't value your partners, I take that shit very seriously.
Yeah. And speaking of other...
So that's why Projared, that's why, especially learning those actions, it pisses me off, because it's like, you have a wife who is very loving and caring about you, and you dumped her for what? For some underage girl so that they can send you nudes? I mean, your girlfriend's like a really hot person, though. I mean, not to mince words, though, but yeah, she's really fucking hot. Easily one of the hottest people you could really find, though, as far as cosplayers go.
I'm not entirely concerned about appearance.
Cheating on her ass.
Yeah, I'm not.
How is she not enough?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about her appearance. Sorry for mispronouncing words. What really also set me off, not only is the whole thing shitty, it's like people made fun of like Holly Conrad's appearance. So it's like, this is not what it's all about. This is not about appearance.
Honestly couldn't as far as Holly's goes, I think as looks wise, she's fine. I think she's kind of cute, at least from a looks perspective.
I really don't care about
but still,
looks.
For me, that's beside the point.
That's
the fact he cheated on her to begin with.
Exactly. It's boggles the mind how
like I
some
really
people
couldn't give a shit. I could give less of a shit who you cheated with her on. All I would care about is the fact that you did it at all.
Yeah.
Because again, it goes into that same line of logic for me. It's like, you were with a great person who cared about you, and your reaction to her was just to go, I'm just going to go break up with her. Whatever.
Actually, they didn't break up. He cheated behind her back, and when people found out, he filed for a divorce.
Oh yeah, and then he was trying to like mince it and be like, oh, this was a very mutual thing. So that's where in a kind of
no, it wasn't. It was not. It was not.
Yeah, it's like in a very messed up priorities kind of way. It was getting kind of funny for me when conversely, while he's trying to play this off as like, hey guys, it's just a mutual thing that me and her did that we disagree with, and then she's just dropping all the news on.
Yeah, all the bombs.
This guy was cheating on me.
All the bombs.
This guy was cheating on me. He was doing all this crap. It's like, ooh, damn. And even the one post he did after the statement was still trying to play it off like things are cool. Like, dude, you may want to not post anything for months, probably a year plus, until this whole thing eventually blows over. Because the worst thing you can be doing is trying to act like nothing is happening.
Yeah, we have done some stupid things in the past when like we were young, stupid, etc.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, I've done stupid things, and even
same.
things that I regret though. Definitely my fair share of things I've done that I regret.
Yeah.
So really, again, my thing isn't really just the fact of doing shitty things though. I mean, even if certain shitty things definitely trigger my emotions more than others. But again though, it's just for things like this, and as a lot of people go, it kind of feels like he doesn't really even care about what he did, but he's just saying this because some PR person's like, look, if you want any chance of blowing over, you kind of have to say stuff like this.
Yeah.
It does feel like if given the option, he would absolutely just pretend that nothing was happening or that nothing bad was happening.
It also pisses me off just as much as people saying that I'm using my autism, high functioning here, by the way, as an excuse for whatever behavior that I'm going through, what attitude I'm going through right now, at the time. Just like...
It's just, again, Pete, in the case of autism especially, a lot of people are ignorant as to what it actually is. To these people, they think all it means is that you just kind of can't, that it just means that you have a harder time talking, except there's way more to it than that. Even for, I don't like really saying this, but even people like me who are on the end of where autism affects me less than most people who have the condition would, but even still, there's more to it than that, than just not being able to socialize good. It can mean that occasionally you can act impulsively, you can sometimes react on your more negative emotions, more so than even your average person. So that's why for it though, like there's more to it than that. But unfortunately, while at least in fairness, there is a lot of movements and a lot of people who are trying to understand it, but it would feel better if people would just take more of an effort to try to make sure they know what it is before they try saying anything on it.
Yeah,
it's
just
much
really
like bipolar disorder in that one, where when someone says like it was just an acting, that's not some excuse. They're telling you, look, because my brain is not normal, it will sometimes have me do actions that I didn't initially think about because my brain wasn't, though I was just acting impulsively or any other reason. And honestly, it just makes me wish that people just understand that better.
Yeah, and some of the people that accuse me, one of them at least, they had they're also on the autism spectrum. It's like, what the fuck? It really pisses me off, like when it feels like it's they're trying to gaslight me or something. I don't know.
It's just, it's just honestly is there. I mean, again, I'm super fortunate that as far as autism goes, I mean, again, it kind of sounds shitty to say that, but I basically got on the luckier end as far as that stuff goes. I fortunately didn't really have much of anything bad happen to me, though. My autism seems to, at least on the whole scale, at least in comparison to other people who I've seen, and I've seen people who have had autism to a much worse extent than I do, to where it's more readily visible, to where seeing how it affects their day-to-day functions occasionally for a lot of them. I noticed when I was in high school a few years back that even many of them, they seemed like they often had to be in special ed classes and things like that. They couldn't even be with the normal kids because they had to have people who were readily there to go and help them with their day-to-day needs. Not because they were bad or anything, but it's just because they couldn't function otherwise.
I used to be in special ed too. It's
so
been
for
a long
me,
time.
I was fortunate that I was able to go through my high school classes without any sort of existential help or going through special eds. I was able to be in the same class as everyone else, but I understand that people don't have as good as me, and my worst impulses I have given into here and there, especially around other people.
Same.
There's not a single day where I don't lose sleep over that here and there, so I would definitely say that I get that, but definitely to just be a little bit more sympathetic to other people who have that.
I've talked to you in private about a former friend of mine. I think I talked about it in public.
You told me about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just definitely just a big shit show all around.
Yeah. Anyway, back. We're getting a little off topic here. Let's just put the whole Projared thing behind. It's just like it's going to be resolved, and people will move on. And speaking of the shitty things...
I know. I'm going to... Well, a little bit more, though, that I would go with it is also because then in the same sort of vein as that, when James Charles ended up also being outed, as far as someone who...
What exactly did this James Charles do? What did he do?
He was actually being... he was being a predator, but unlike Jared, who was soliciting underage girls, his targets were straight men. At least from
that's a really strange kind of what the fuck.
What I was about to say. Let me explain there. So what happened with it was that at least from what his recent friend, I can't remember her name, even though I just saw it a while ago. What happened was that she ended up revealing in a recent video that she made, where she outed that apparently what James Charles would do was he would frequently try to gaslit straight men, or just in general try to manipulate them, especially more on the younger end of straight men, like people who were like maybe late teens, usually like 18 and such, for people who may not have fully grasped what their sexualities may be, because obviously it's high school or like that early age when people may not have fully figured out where they stand, like where their sexual preferences are, if they even have any. And so for things like that, and so frequently he was known, like apparently at her birthday dinner, he even was trying to say for the waiter who was straight and trying to do something, and his words were, and I quote, "I don't care, I'm a celebrity."
Jesus fucking Christ!
So, he had all of that, and even when he made his response video to it, which was meant to be more of an apology thing, he didn't really even deny any of the events happened. Sort of like Vic Mignogna in that same vein, where he doesn't really deny the events happening, but seems more so to just say that it didn't happen in that very same vein.
An unrepentant asshole.
So yeah, learning all that though, and so maybe not as bad. I mean, I don't know if I would say that his career is getting as bad as Jared's, but it honestly could be worse. As of speaking of this live stream, he already lost 3 million subscribers, and the person who blew it up actually gained 4 million out of it.
That's wow! Talk about karma.
So basically all
that. Wow.
So all of that ended up happening, and so from all of that business pretty much happening, and so that's why it had all that drama attached to it. And so there was that, and I was like, Jesus Christ, though. And it's honestly no wonder. I honestly feel most sympathetic to the YouTube execs who have to deal with all this, because now they just keep getting bad press after bad press, even though the execs, I'm sure, are good people who just want to give a platform to people who just want to make great content. Many great people have managed to make great careers on YouTube, and I appreciate what they've been able to do.
Like Markiplier.
Yeah, like Markiplier people, like also like just recently Jack Black with his Jablinks.
I really enjoyed his videos. I really enjoyed Jack Black's videos, and also Jacksepticeye, and Jacksepticeye too.
Well, I'm not a personal fan of his content. I at least like him as a person, though, so at least he has nothing against me there. And then James Rolfe, which, thinking on the Projared and James Charles things, I think I'm most glad, even if maybe I'm not as much of a fan of James's content as I was back then, but at least he has so far demonstrated to be a good person, and despite being on the platform for 13 years now,
that's crazy.
And he has yet to be involved in any controversy or any sort of bad stuff.
Though actually,
making his stuff.
The only form of controversy I thought of is his take on the 2016
on the Ghostbusters 2016 thing, but honestly, it was the most respectful thing he could say about it. I mean, honestly, even though I held a more conservative view when that video came out, today when looking at it, I mean, even if I would have said, I disagree with where you're going with it, but at least I can't really go against it.
Yeah.
At least not without sounding like an asshole, that is.
Yeah, at least, I'm so glad.
It was presented respectfully, and he wasn't doing any hyperbole or wasn't talking about the dreaded SJWs. He just said, I'm just not going to see it. It looks like a bad movie, and I just don't want to review it if I think it's going to be bad. I mean, it's like, okay, well, if you think it's going to be bad, then best you probably don't review it, because then you may end up having it somewhat tainted, basically.
Yeah, he's very passionate, and although passion helps, he felt he didn't want that get in the way, and he didn't want to join in the toxicity. Although I feel.
So honestly, I respect him.
Yeah, at the time when that happened, it's like, it's being stupid, but whatever. Although I think I poked fun at him for that a couple times, but other than that,
so far he just seems like a really chill dude who just wants to. Who just wanted to make videos about things that he wanted, and I'm glad that he's been able to do all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, at least we can put that...
Where did you go, Connor? Sorry, we were talking so much, I forgot to be along with you, though. Oh, I see you now.
Flies water. And overencumbered.
Yeah, I know.
How often do you think I get overencumbered? pretty often not.
Well, honestly, in this game, you will be quite a lot because there's a lot of things you're trying to grab. Often, because I have the scrapper perk, I frequently grab weapons which take up a lot of weight, so I can scrap them for parts.
Yeah, I either sell them to the shops run of caps. Thank you, 1400 caps, or scrap them, like you said.
Yeah, so things like that. So, yeah, frequently stuff like that. And as I said, because there's definitely a lot of great people, it's just unfortunately, though, the bad people often get more of the press. Though, honestly, the reasons they get more of the press isn't exactly a thing I can dispute or be like, oh my god, so illegitimate, because, again, with James Charles and Projared, we're talking about sexual predators here. Like, we're not talking about, like, oh my god, I mean, even the cheating thing, as bad as that is, it still wouldn't be the worst thing that someone could do.
It's like, it would give me a side-eye.
Yeah,
for the most part, it would just give me, like, side-eye. It's like, really? But it just let it be because it's personal and I really don't want to get involved in it. And like I said earlier...
But it's like, yeah, but for something like this, we're talking about sexual predators here. This is not something you treat lightly.
Yeah. Fucking A. And that's not, like, at least it's not as bad as some of the things going on with Mortal Kombat, like, the typical, like...
So it's things like that, and definitely it didn't really help matters when I saw, because again, it's even though I unsubscribed, these videos are still frequently recommended to me, because YouTube still thinks, oh, did you, were you sub to someone for some time and liked a number of their videos? Let me still recommend them to you, even though you unsubbed. Anyway, so then it recommended me because of saying about, like, should we cancel our cancel culture, though, and was showing James Charles and Projared, and be like, the simple answer for me on that one is no. For things like what Projared, if you're going to try to use that, Projared and James Charles are the worst things you could possibly use for that point. Because again, we're not talking about things that are maybe iffy as far as evidence goes. There is explicit evidence. Jared's nudes are already on the internet for people to see.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
exactly like it's just this thing that maybe happened, but we still don't fully know, to where I would be at least on a small
the writing
level
is all over the fucking wall.
And again, also because his wife just reported all of that. So there is none of that. And especially for James Charles, where even his own victims went and said about that. Like, yeah, he was trying to groom me and was trying to basically take advantage of my confusion as to if I was straight or not. Because again, even straight people can be made to be confused about it if you really manage to fuck with them. I mean, it's not happened to me, but I've obviously heard of people who actually have had that.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Things like that. So it's like...
I hope it doesn't happen to me or anyone else that I care about. It's just...
So if there's anyone we're going to do... If there's anyone you're going to do cancel culture on, those are the people you want to do it to.
Yeah. Yeah, let's leave this topic behind. It's just like...
I mean, it's just something that I can't really let go because of things like that. Because, and honestly, I think things like that are exactly why I ended up just abandoning centrism as a whole. Because especially when you really start embodying it, you start sounding like that, to where you will end up refusing to acknowledge actual bad shit happening because you don't want to sound like you're coming off as being on one side or another.
Yeah,
and it's just like, no, you should be willing to take sides.
There are times when you take sides. Compromise and
I mean, as much as I'm for trying to keep a very cool head and trying to make sure you're trying to understand everything, not everything requires deep investigation. For some of these things that happen, you can just look out the window and go, yeah, that's some really bad shit happening there, or there's no extra context you need. I mean,
Splice water, by the way.
Nudes, for instance, unless those were
consensual and were between
unless
adults.
Those nudes were like sent to his wife, I would be like, okay, couples exchanging nudes to each other, that's normal. I know many people who do that. But when it's to people who are not his partner, that's just not how it goes.
And worse yet, So, do you want to move on to other topics? It's just like, wow.
Sure. Do you have any?
You heard about some? Yes, you heard some of the things involving Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, the currency really sucks. The currency really sucks, and
I know for the
and from what I understand,
crunch period that they had.
It's
just it really sucks hearing that, because definitely they pumped out many of the most solid games in recent memory. Again, Injustice 2 was easily my most favorite game of 2017. And hearing that it was also having a crunch culture was just a big that really freaking sucks.
And once again, they're in the process of resolving it. I'm not going to
stop myself from eventually buying MK11 because again, time has shown me that if you're going to go and try to go against somebody, really boycotting is not exactly a good reason.
It's like
not
between
an effective measure to do so.
Yeah, like between a
So
rock and a hard place.
Really is just do all that you can, and then just hope that it ends up going through.
I skipped an article on games industry on .biz, and it looks like they're getting things they're sending things straight with Warner Brothers, so at least progress is being made. Really,
what about Warner Brothers?
Yeah, Warner Brothers has their own has a publishing thing for gaming. Which
do they?
Yeah, which explains why why Injustice 2 looks so good and stuff. Oh god, I thought it froze for a sec.
Yeah, so that's at least good on it. So
yeah,
like with Rockstar, I think the best we can do is just basically keep pressuring companies to make sure that they do so. And honestly, because again, that's why I say don't try to do some boycott thing, because trust me, those things rarely work. The only way you can get those to work is really on smaller entities that are there. And if anyone tries to bring Battlefront 2 into the mix, it's honestly more of an outlier than something that's really an effective means. If you're going to base a strategy, never use outliers as your means.
Yeah.
And honestly, just keep making sure to hammer home that no, this is wrong. Try to get people to go and make sure that they are held accountable for it. That's the best you really can do for it, though. I mean, again, it's kind of like the same thing like with Georgia's law, where, yeah, I would want Disney, Marvel, and other bigger companies to take a stand against what Georgia passed with their abortion bill, and say, no, we're not going to be filming in your state.
From what I've heard, it's been with, like, filmmakers are sending the initial stages.
Abrams, I know, for instance, has already said that he's going to stop filming there until that law is resolved.
Yeah. And this is going to be really, this is going to be a really tough fight over there. And related news with Mortal Kombat 11, but dumber. You ever seen Jax's ending in that game, where he basically erases Jax, the guy, black guy with
Jax,
in this ending for Mortal Kombat 11, he uses
I know, he basically goes and ends the slave trade, basically well before it really took hold, and so a whole bunch of people were angry about it, and it makes me go, I still remember going there and going, what?
This is Mortal Kombat.
I mean, that kind of sounds like the best thing to do, honestly.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, if I had time travel, I would try to do so.
Yeah.
Assuming that there isn't some stipulation with time travel, which is where when you change one event, other events can go way differently and potentially worse. I mean, as long as that's not a rule of it, then that sounds fine.
Yeah. It's so a friend of mine Charles Phipps has pointed out that it's no different than a Jew trying to trying to get rid of the Nazis that way.
Yeah, that was just the thing that I just still couldn't end up doing anything but going
and it really cracked me out when Shao Kahn said in one of the intros in a fight against a collector, let us make Outworld great again. Yeah, they went
Honestly,
there.
It's kind of even funnier for me because in Metal Gear Rising, even though he only says it once, he even Stephen Armstrong, the overall main antagonist of the game, even straight up says, "Make America Great Again," and it's just funny because that game came out only about
couple years,
3 years before Trump even got elected, because it was released in 2013.
Yeah, talk about weird in hindsight, though.
Yeah, so things like that, though. And yeah, as far as politically charged commentary goes, that's not really uncommon of Ed Boon's style. It's kind of one of the reasons I like him, though, as a writer, because he does stuff like that.
Really? That's surprising.
Again, I mean, it's a thing that he's always done, though, and honestly, I do appreciate when people don't pussyfoot around as to how things are what they actually are.
Yeah, reminds me of Dorian's personal quest in Dragon Age Inquisition. Have you played Inquisition, by the way? I really don't want to spoil it.
I played some of it, but I haven't finished it.
Yeah, have you done Dorian's companion quest?
Done the what quest?
Dorian's companion quest.
Don't think I have.
I really want to say it, but I really don't want to spoil you. It's a hell of a dilemma. You know that his character is gay, right?
I didn't know that, but at least doesn't know.
Do you want me to spoil it to you?
Sure, because I'm probably gonna forget about it later.
Good point. So in his personal quest, or at least one of his personal quests, his father invited you and Dorian to go see him in Redcliffe, and you find out why Dorian left his father. Because his father planned to use blood magic to basically try to make him straight. And Dorian was not having it. And though his father felt regret about what he plans to do, you can have the option to either leave or encourage Dorian to try to reconcile with his father. It's really a moving quest.
That definitely sounds like a dilemma because on one hand, I'm always someone who's all about that reconciliation stuff. I mean, I've had family members where I was on bad terms, but then, like my mom, for instance, where for a few years I was on bad terms, but we got back together.
Yeah.
But when it comes to things like that, I'm not so sure if I'd be so eager. I mean, I'm not gay, so I can't really say that I can have any sort of personal experience with it, but at least trying to imagine it, I honestly wouldn't blame a person being like, oh, fuck that, I'm not going to be with him again.
Yeah, it's a very well written dilemma. It's pretty sad.
I mean, damn right it is, though. Shit, that is definitely something I did not know.
Yeah, I really am sorry for spoiling you.
No, I'm probably not going to fully remember what the character's name was, and then when the quest happens, I'll go, oh, this is what you meant. Because honestly, for me, even if I still know about it in advance, I still am going to look at that and go, oh shit, that still feels heavy.
And you know, you ever met Krem, Iron Bull's second in command in Dragon Age Inquisition? You probably reached out.
I do.
Yeah, he's trans, and it's pretty easy to explore it delicately. To my memory, of course, I could be wrong. You can
There's
ask.
a thing that I actually mainly remembered him because a bit. Sorry for interrupting though. Was that a guy I used to follow called Axeman, which I thought was a good critic, but then when I looked deeper into it, he just kind of fell flat though as far as what his views were. But one of the things I remember that caught my eye because I was a conservative and thinking much of it at the time. So what he mentioned one thing, which is when Andromeda came up, and just said like how he brought up how one of the characters was transgender and seemed to be against it because, as he said, we never saw this before. But when we talk about settings that are fantasy, and especially ones that involve magic, I kind of find it very strange as a defense to go and think that a transgender person is this really out there concept when it's like, but this is magic. Someone could just want it to actually just be the case. I mean, after all, it's not like transmuting someone into something completely different is an unfound thing. In fantasy settings, that's often a thing that's often done. So to say it's somehow a bad thing, somehow a trans person existing, it feels like a really wacky thing to say.
Yeah. The guy who did the Forgotten Realms setting for Dungeons and Dragons pointing out many a similar point, which is kind of silly. Silly for anyone making that complaint. I am sorry. I'm just trying to try to approach a delicate topic because I could say the wrong thing, and it feels like a minefield at times.
Yeah, it's just that's why I think of things like that, though. Like, obviously, for, like, looking at it now, it throws me off, because it's like, it's like, a transgender person existing in a fictional universe actually kind of sounds like, or a fictional setting universe, sounds like one of the most believable things.
Yeah, it makes it more real, like, oh, but Adian, anyone who's not white in a... it makes it less realistic.
Exactly with some trans person, for instance, like, why would someone just not want to go visit a wizard or the devil if, like, say, they can't find any wizards who are willing to...
Your character can actually ask that to Krem in Dragon Age Inquisition, and Krem that he refused to make that choice. I don't know...
What choice?
To use magic to... Sorry, I'm trying to find the right
Change people
words.
to a different gender.
Yes, to match to match. I really am sorry. Trying to find the right words.
No,
for
I
that.
get it. Yeah, trust me. It's definitely better to think about your words carefully, so that way you don't end up saying something that was insensitive.
Yeah,
It's
I
good
really
to
don't want
do
to be.
so.
I really don't
But,
want to be
yeah,
insensitive.
I'm saying I get your point. He refused to use his magic. That's why I said things like that, or the devil or whatever. Like basically someone who really just wants to transition and seems
Yeah,
like they
transition.
can't find any publicly available help, and so they start seeking sources that are maybe not the best, but it's because it's their only option.
Yeah, it really makes the depiction in Ronnoc a bit jarring, because initially.
Again, for me, this is why I find it very puzzling whenever I see these people try to say anything along the lines of, I don't mind a trans or a gay person existing, so long as it's not so much incredible to their story, when I'm like, have you talked to a trans person ever?
Yeah, I remember the first time when I first played, it was like, do you just give out your dead name? That seems kind of weird.
Because it seems like a very strange thing, because for when it comes to gay people or transgender issues, yeah, their identities are central, because it often very heavily affected the things they did in their lives.
Yeah.
Being a trans person now, that thing, going into the military, something that didn't seem any issue a few years ago, guess what? You can't go in now, and somehow that does not affect their life choices or even their life views at all.
Yeah.
Somehow. So I always find that a very jarring thing to say, when at the end of the day, it's going to be a very big thing that affects their decisions, or especially how exactly they view the world around them. So it feels like a very odd request or statement that says, "Oh, it should not have that."
Yeah.
Because
I
why should it have
I
it?
appreciate the effort. I remember, like, I was
I
streaming.
mean, are there clunky ways that we can try to do so? I
Yes.
mean, yeah, obviously.
It does feel a little
when
clunky
it's the
initially.
clunkier ways.
Yeah, but I think there's a patch that adds in a side quest where you do something for Abrams. That's
Connor, if you don't know, when you can put your legendary stuff and you don't use it here,
Yep.
and it gives you scripts for the legendary defender, the
I
legendary
know. Yeah.
seller, later this
I
week.
know. That's really cool. Yeah. So
I
in
didn't know if you did. I didn't know if you did know that.
Yeah, I know
yeah,
that.
that's what I said with it. Like, for example,
it's the
like
initial
on Game
versions of
Thrones,
her.
I'm seeing a lot of.
Initial versions
I'm
of
sorry,
her.
actually, continue.
The initial versions of her was pretty clunky, because right out of the gate, when you ask her about why she came to Andromeda, she told you her dead name. She she mentions her dead name, and I'm not entirely sure if that's how it actually works realistically, or how it works in real life. But Bioware got backlash for that, and they patched in a little side quest where where she'll only bring up why she came here, and bring up her dead name if you do a favor for her.
Which, again, though, is just because for these people, it just comes across as they don't want to be exposed to things that are around them, which, again, comes across to me as just very pathetic on it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was saying, like, for example, I was about to say, though, like, how people were characterizing how some of the women were written in Game of Thrones, specifically how it seems that any of the women who tried to rule Westeros.
Your connection,
Yeah,
your mic got a little messed up. Sorry. Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
Connor, can you hear me better?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh yeah, it's just my mic was just being crap again. But
Oh.
yeah, as I said, like for the women who are trying to rule Westeros, how it just seems like they're always some flavor of crazy lady who's trying to hold over, or just basically like any woman who tries to seek power is just by default in some way or another an evil person. And how a lot of women who are I often see we're talking about Game of Thrones throughout the past week show a lot of frustration with that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a woman
yeah.
myself, so I can't fully pretend to understand that, but I can at least get the perspective.
Yeah.
And so it's just that for things like that, it's why I would say if you want to talk about clunky versions of delivery, sure, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But to try to have this insistence that characters, whether it be through their gender, race, or sexuality, or any sort of other sort of other social thing surrounding them, that you shouldn't have to focus it, it's such an odd thing, because those very things heavily influence how their lives are going to go.
Yeah, I actually showed it to a family member of mine with the part involving the character in Andromeda. she seems it
I
seems
still
fine.
didn't come across that, even though I did two full playthroughs. How do you even come across her or him? Sorry, I don't really
Her.
know
It's
which
her.
gender the trans
Yeah.
ones.
She,
Her,
she
okay.
yeah, her. You need to talk to her in the colony on Eos. You can
Yeah, I looked on EOS, but I never found her. Or if I passed her, maybe I just didn't notice.
yeah, she's pretty. She looks pretty. She has a pretty generic NPC look, so pretty easy to miss.
Yeah, that explains it better, because I kept looking, because even though I was aware of the trans character, I'm like, where are they? I can't find this person.
Yeah.
I mean, people threw such a big hissy fit over it, so I'm like, okay, so clearly this transgender person, because again, before you told me that, I didn't know if it was a he or a she, so I'm like, okay, so where is this person that everyone was complaining existed, and you're telling me they're an NPC, so I'm even more confused.
A minor NPC.
Start up.
I mean, if anything, it would seem more of the transgender community would seem to be way more angry about it, because it actually sounds like a thing that'd be worth being angry over, versus anyone else, because, as you said, they're a minor NPC, someone that even when I was really looking for them, I couldn't even find them.
Yeah, it's really. Yeah, on hindsight, it just really sounds silly.
So it's like, I really don't understand, though. In fact, for me, that's more of an example of clunky version of using them, rather than just the existence of them somehow hampering your work.
Yeah, this is coming from the same
the
developer.
transgender thing, especially when it comes to that, because again, when it came to that, shouldn't have to focus on them. I'm like, yeah, because I'm sure those transgender people who were disowned by their families totally didn't affect how their lives went down the line.
Yeah, who you are, like ethnicity, gender, etc. Sexuality.
I mean, due to a
beliefs.
person I follow on Twitter, like, I even saw, like, for her, as she's transitioning now, that how she even said that how she was often very confused as to where her gender was, because she would often feel like she was, again, some days a guy, and other days she felt more like a girl, though, like, just wanting to do, like, average every woman things.
She's struggling. She's trying to understand more about herself. And
so, honestly, it just feels like a very, honestly, a quite... I kind of would say insensitive thing, though, because it demonstrates a very bad lack of understanding on it. If you're going to try to insist on any level that, oh, I shouldn't have to have them be on there, because, I mean, again, looking at any trans person stories, you will always find people who were disowned by family because they were thinking that something was just really wrong with them. You would find them, even friends potentially going back on them, government institutions that would outright, I mean, when it comes to housing, or just recently the military, that would just straight up actually actively discriminate against them and all that, and somehow none of that is supposed to play out in a trans person's story. It's supposed to be, yeah, as a trans person, I went through every single good or bad thing that every other person has. No, they've went through things that I couldn't
It's been
even
a while since I
through.
played Andromeda and reached that point twice even. It's been a while. My memory might be a little rusty, but yeah. Anyway, back to Mortal Kombat 11, and here's a fun one. You ever heard of Sonic Fox 5000? The guy who...
Oh yeah, the guy who's basically, despite him embodying every single thing that is not in there, i.e. he's black, gay, a furry, and basically all that, and he's the best fighting game streamer that is out.
Yeah,
right now.
I started following him on Twitter and Twitch. And
he's a little too weird for my taste, but at least I respect what he does.
Yeah, so he somehow got in trouble because he posted a video on Twitter where he, playing as Garrus, the new character in Mortal Kombat, was like like karate chopping on Sonya Blade's neck, and he yelled out "turf" twice, each time he struck her in the neck, and making a funny giggle in between. And okay, if you don't know the context, you've heard, the voice actress currently forcing currently forcing Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh yeah, Ronda Rousey. I know she's infamous that she is a 9/11 truther, as well as also some other batshit crazy things.
Yeah, and a trans exclusionary reactionary feminist. Basically, we don't want transgender trans women in our group. That kind of thing. The kind of feminism that's truly toxic. And Oh my god! So somehow that got people, like the wrong type of people angry. It's like, when I shouldn't say wrong type. It's like the kind of people who thinks that turfs are a slur. These kind of people.
I'm sorry, can you tell me what TERF is? I've heard this here and there, but I still don't understand what it means.
Trans exclusionary reactionary feminist. Basically, the kind of feminist who doesn't want trans women in their little group.
Because I was always told that a lot of people want to refer to it as a slur, so
yeah,
I thought
it is not. It's not a slur
against trans people.
Yeah,
rather than anything else.
It's against trans. TERF is a type of person who is against trans people.
Oh, okay. So it's meant to be an insult against them. Okay, yeah, I was very confused in that area.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't blame you for being. I don't blame you for being confused. So, apparently, some people got really pissed. Really pissed off. Mass reported Sonic Fox got in preview suspended and this video deleted, and a whole bunch of crazy things happened. That some people, some transport people complained. Someone set up a meme like this anime girl, I don't know exactly what, pointing a Photoshop gun with that realistic hand and says, "Shut the fuck up, TERF." And guess what happened next?
I mean, considering Ronda Rousey's personality, I don't exactly know why calling her that would be wrong.
Get this, yeah.
At least from what I've seen, oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, get this, it ended up in the UK Parliament. I shit you not. It ended up in the parliament. If you think Congress is kind of out of step these days, wait till you hear about the UK Parliament.
It's just, oh god.
Yeah, it's like a whole thought it was so stupid.
I mean, if the glove fits, I don't know how I could go against it.
Yeah, that was it's just like really, really stupid. And Sonic Fox on the board face is fine. It's like, haha.
Things like that.
Yeah,
always just really perplexes me as people trying to act like, oh no, she's totally not that. When I'm just like, but considering her personality, it seems, especially considering her profession, and at least from what I've seen, the MMA doesn't really view trans people that highly, or at least I don't really think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that calling her a TERF is definitely not out of the question.
Yeah, I told my brother about it, and he was not only was he pissed about her transphobic beliefs. When I told him about her, I think at the time her views on the Sandy Hook shooting, he called her the C word.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna utter it here because I really don't want to get banned. For one, and two.
Oh no, I understand that.
Not the kind of person
to make sure you're not saying anything bad. I mean, honestly, that's also one of the reasons why I followed Emily Grace, because I feel like if I followed her long enough and she kept saying that bad dating advice, I was just gonna call her that word.
Yeah. Restraint is best.
So yeah, as I said, I've learned throughout the years to be really patient, and I've learned to very much try to withhold my anger. I mean, that's not to say it doesn't slip out here and there. If I get really stressed out, it can come out in the moment.
It happens.
But I would say at least at least for me, I've gotten really good at making sure I don't let it come out.
Yeah. You all got
so that's why
issues
things like that. But honestly, I can't imagine, because I'm guessing your brother was a Ronda Rousey fan, though. So
no, he wasn't.
Especially hearing stuff like that.
Yeah, he never heard of her before recently.
Oh, okay.
At
least it makes it better for him to be angry with it, because it would be like,
God damn it. I think you like him based on the interactions between you and him.
Oh no, I've talked to your brother before, though. He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah. A bit crass at some points. Like bit crass at some points, but you get the drift.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just that for that, maybe, hopefully, that in the future, NetherRealm goes, hey, maybe let's not have a scumbag do a voiceover next time.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job of background checking.
Yeah, clearly not. I mean, this wasn't really their first scuttle with that. I mean, they got Adam Baldwin to go and voice Green Lantern, the first Injustice, so at least they corrected that by having him do Steve Blum instead.
Yeah. My brother actually met Steve Blum a couple of years ago. pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Steve Bloom's fucking awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam Baldwin I like as an actor, but as a person, Jesus, he's just all kinds of bad.
Yeah, Joss Whedon recounted some pretty bad experiences with him.
Yeah, I honestly can easily imagine why.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that he was a big Gamergate supporter back when it was at its height, and he's still right-wing to the rest of my knowledge, and definitely among right-wings, definitely not very...
Okay, okay, I mean, yeah, I think we're clear of the really dark stuff.
So,
We're
yeah,
clear of the dark
NetherRealm
stuff.
Better in the future.
So, we're good now. So, let's just... Yeah, it's a lot of this is just, like, really nasty stuff, so let's focus on some tamer stuff. Let's start with the really weird stuff surrounding the latest episode of Game of Thrones. I haven't watched the show, just want to disclose that.
I've only watched the first season that I watched out of curiosity, and it was really good. I really liked what was there. From what I hear people at least say, depending on who you ask, season 5 or season 6 was the last good season.
Yeah.
And then people tell me that season 7 is where it detracted, but depending on who you ask, season 7 was either just a straight up terrible season, or it was just still a good season, but just not as good as seasons 1 through 5. Or
a lot
6,
of people, a lot of people seem to have really strong opinions about the latest episode at the time of this live stream of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know, because people, I mean, again, I'll have to actually watch it so I can get a view of myself, but at least I'm trying my best to hear the perspectives on it from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But I would say from based on there, it seems that that women in general seem to have often the biggest issue, because as I said earlier, because a lot of women not really liking this whole theme of women who desire power or by default evil and therefore should be stopped before they get it.
Yeah, to be fair, she has some issues. But the way it was executed, from what I hear, leaves much to be desired.
So it's just that things like that, as well as also people saying that the dropping into sudden shifts and alliances, which to them made no sense considering what these characters were.
Yeah,
things
it was
like that.
rushed.
So I'm like, I can...
Yeah.
At least it's things that sound legitimate, but again, I just want to kind of make sure I watch them to see for myself on that, because keep in mind, people were saying this same thing about The Last Jedi, and then I watched it and I'm like, no, actually, this is all completely new character.
I actually thought of that, and it's like...
So that's why
I also want to point out that maybe you shouldn't put fictional characters like that on a pedestal. Something to be inspired by, sure, but pedestals, you're gonna.
Nothing's wrong with really wanting to have role models though in there. I mean, still to this day, one of my favorite role models is still Superman. Even though I've obviously, I mean, even if many people have their own, I've always, at least maybe not always, but especially as I've gotten older, said that yes, my most favorite superhero has and always will be Superman. I love what he stands for and always what he is. Even if it basically, even if he ends up never taking specific stances, you know where he always stands when shit is hitting the
Truth,
fan,
justice,
and also because of his
for truth and justice and the American way.
Things like that, though. Similar to Captain America in that regard, because I've always considered Captain America sort of Marvel's, or at least Action Comics, as it was known at the time, as their answer to that, though, having the same sort of thing.
Action Comics is actually Superman, by the way. Action Comics was Superman.
Not Action Comics. Yeah, I meant to say whoever the comics publisher was of Captain America before Marvel got its name, for things like that. And that's why I've always loved in those characters. Ones who always stand for the greater good and always try to have optimism to try to show for that. And I've always loved it.
Along with Spiderman.
Especially as I've gotten older. And Spider-Man the same vein. As I've gotten older, even though I still like cynical characters, though, I have gotten sick of people always trying to insist that the cynical characters are always the ones that are the right ones, or the ones we should always listen to for that, because especially cynical characters are always the ones who have, or maybe not always, but typically, the worst advice to give, especially because they themselves act like shitty people, because, well, if everyone else is crap, why should I be different?
Yeah.
If my good actions will have no merit, why should I end up acting good?
Yeah. and the role models like Superman, Luke, Spider-Man, and others.
I mean, Batman is at least somewhat of an exception to that, because even if his views are more cynical, he at least still tries to do good in spite of it, though.
Yeah.
That's why I've always loved how Batman and Superman's dynamic was. Sort of, again, even if I don't like him as a person, but as a critic, like how Movie Bob, basically I always felt described their personalities best, which is Superman's the world is inherently good, and that occasionally the bad elements need to be kept in order, whereas in stark contrast to Batman's no, the world is inherently bad, and only constant fear and vigilance against it is always what has been the core difference between these two characters, which is always why I felt that they've always paired so well.
Yeah, and I only see the Martha scene. I always seen the Martha scene with Batman versus Superman, and God, that was terrible.
Oh no, it was terrible, and I feel like because again, Zack Snyder doesn't really understand that element of both of those characters, hence why, in my opinion, the two really just don't really go well together. And that's why in Justice League, even though I would say it was more okay, which seems to be on the way more positive end of it, why it feels really awkward when Batman tries to have this respect for him, even though it seems that he really shouldn't, though. Like, maybe I shouldn't have been wanting to kill you, but it doesn't mean that I really trust you yet. But then he tries to act like Batman, like comics Batman, who has very high respect of the Man of Steel, even if maybe he doesn't exactly agree with how he does things.
Yeah.
So that's why in Justice League it felt so awkward near the end when he sees him back alive. I mean, that's not really a spoiler, because I think Part 2 is supposed to come out next year or something.
Wait, there's a Part 2? Wait, there's a Part 2? I thought it was just...
Yeah, Justice League was meant to be a two-parter, though. The first one was released in 2017.
Yeah.
And then Part 2 was supposed to release, I think, either this year or next year. Something along those lines. So yeah, that's why it was supposed to be for that.
Yeah.
And so that's why for them two acting like that, it just felt so jarring.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, Nicholas. Anyway. Oh, speaking of like superhero movies, now that the spoiler embargo on Endgame has lifted, we can finally talk about the plot of Endgame. Fucking finally.
Honestly, yeah, I've seen it twice. I'm definitely gonna see it a few more times while it's in theaters, because it really feels like the best experience to have it in is a theater, especially in the best screening you can find it in.
Yeah.
I still don't think I'll ever be able to get over definitely the last exchange between Tony and Thanos.
I am inevitable. And I
snaps his
fingers
fingers and just goes,
oh
just looks at that, and I
am
Iron Man, and snaps his fingers and just, oh my God, that was the
cheered at that part. It's like, that motherfucker had it coming.
Audience, we were going crazy. We were just applauding when we saw that. Just loved the line delivery and everything that was associated with it.
Yeah.
And definitely seeing Peter and Pepper Potts' reactions to him dying, that was definitely some... If I was able to cry, though, like, for movies, that definitely would have been a hit for me. Like, hey, it's Peter. Yeah. Like Mr. Stark, and he's just going there and he's trying to keep him easy, and Pepper Potts just saying, you can rest now.
Yeah,
because it seemed like she knew he was dead, or was basically gonna die like really soon, so was just saying it was okay. And then definitely seeing once the light in his chest goes out, damn, that fucking hit.
Yeah. It really hit me when Black Widow sacrificed herself for the Soul Stone in the 2014 time period.
I know, that was some heavy stuff as well.
Yeah.
Tell my family I love them. Tell them yourself. And then, like, you can really tell, like, after he tries to jump off the cliff, and she saves him from it, and he's, like, really not wanting to, but just her assuring it's okay. And even after she lets go, you can feel his emotion both immediately in the moment, and when he comes back to 2023, spoiler, after they kill Thanos in their timeline, there's a 5-year time gap, so from 2018 to 2023 is when it jumps to, and just he drops to his knees, though, after saying, "Where's Natasha?" and his face is just completely heartbroken.
And Professor Hulk, since Bruce and Hulk basically merged after an experiment, but this time going right.
So yeah, them just doing that and seeing Hulk's frustration, because even with Bruce, though, despite that, he still has this very normal, timid, reserved kind of thing to him. Yeah, force to him. and yet even still, he was just having no qualms about just throwing a chair into the lake. And especially because Thor is trying to act like this is no big deal, and trying to act like it's no big deal because going, oh, we have the stones, we can bring her back. But
nope.
And that's why he's saying that's what the red floaty guy said. So why don't you take your hammer and go ask him?
Yeah, that is it's very touching when Thor finally, like, he's been through a lot of shit, and what he went through is what I think is pretty descriptive of like anyone suffering from a severe depiction of depression.
I could really relate to Thor because of that. Definitely from that thing where I don't want to ever say I've been traumatized, but still, definitely like specifically after the first girl, this was the third girl, or actually fourth, that I've ever had an emotional attachment before, where she ended up saying she loved me, and turns out I found out she was lying about the whole thing.
It just sent you like into this pretty dark place, which Thor was for the past 5 years.
And it did make me gain some weight, so that's why when I saw Thor as fat, though, I mean, even though he was much fatter than even I am, because I'm not really fat, though, it's just you can notice, but it's not super big or super noticeable.
It's just like,
and so like seeing him, I could really resonate though, like when he went through that.
And
even though he can keep a happy demeanor, like certain subjects, like the death of his mother and what Thanos did, because he felt responsible for not killing Thanos on the spot.
Yeah.
And so he just basically went down in there.
Yeah.
And is trying to keep this facade of like, oh, I'm totally not traumatized. But it's honestly good to see him cry, which even though some people took that as comedic, I honestly took that as very sincere. Yeah. Like he actually was just breaking down because of the guilt that he was feeling.
Yeah.
Although I could understand in that one scene when he's trying to explain as to why he should use the gauntlet after they finally acquired the stones, and then Rhodes ends up just saying cheese whiz when he's saying what's flowing through my veins. I felt like maybe I would have just left that line out personally, but otherwise though it was feeling like a great scene where he's just like because I fully understand that, where it's just like, please just let me be useful.
Yeah, it's pretty, and he was so happy when he got the past version Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, where he just goes, I'm still worthy, so that was definitely a really happy moment to see that he's still good with.
Yeah. And here's like a bit of a thing. The reason why he brought that hammer along, it's for Steve.
Yeah, I know. That scene where, like, we just see Mjolnir going in, and we know that it wasn't Thor who threw it, and then you just see it go right back into Captain America's hands. Jesus Christ, it was just easily the thing I was looking forward to most, hoping that in one of these movies that we were gonna see Steve Rogers hold Mjolnir and just going, I knew it, and then it just goes through that.
Yeah,
just
Avengers, and when all the surviving
living Avengers anyway. Let's keep that in mind, the living ones, because not everyone came back from the revival snap. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Loki, Vision, because Vision died before the snap. Gamora, at least the timeline, Gamora didn't come back because she was killed before the snapping.
Yeah. It's always really funny to see Zor like getting kneed by the past version of Gamora. So yeah,
definitely seeing where all the living Avengers come back, and then he just goes, Avengers!
Assemble. Yes!
Fuck, I was just like, yes, hoping he was eventually gonna say that, because it was something I always wanted him to do. And
ever since Age of Ultron, Avengers, and then cut the credits. That was like just smart ass.
And honestly, I always found it pretty jarring how a lot of people took the Russo brothers, because eventually I knew someone was going to ask as to that scene, okay, well, if he was able to lift it in Endgame, why didn't he lift it in Age of Ultron? And the Russo brothers just were saying, yeah, he was able to, he just didn't do it because he didn't want to basically hurt Thor's ego.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a very Steve thing to do. He didn't want to ever show off in front of anyone, at least most of the time he didn't. And so he was basically just letting him just pretending that he wasn't being able to.
Yeah.
Because after all, that kind of comes into me with the context clues, because Steve doesn't look surprised that he could do it, and Thor said that he knew that he could do it, so why would that be a shocker or some sort of J.K. Rowling thing he's pulling?
That's pretty stupid assessment, know what I mean? Just like
Yeah, I know, because again, even going by just Endgame, just those two context clues, Steve doesn't have any moment where he's like, whoa, I can use this, and Thor doesn't go on a, what? I didn't know you could lift Mjolnir. They both just knew. So honestly, it's like the only explanation was that whole hammer lifting scene, Steve was able to, he was just pretending that he couldn't.
Yeah, and all the characters going to ports that also it was one of the things that legitimately made me cheer.
Yeah.
And here comes the funny part. Yeah, with the funny parts. With
you were about to say?
Do you know the part where Ant-Man becomes the old man, then the baby, and then all that? That was really funny.
Yeah, I know where he goes.
I'm not sure if it's like old me or baby me or me that peed. And later on when Tony Stark just like drove in, it's like, let me guess, this God was a baby, among other things.
Something like that. Yeah.
That was
definitely, yeah. Morgan, Tony's daughter, that comes in the movie. Definitely, she was just a really great treat. I hope we get to see more of her later on.
Yeah.
In the Marvel movies. Hopefully, it goes long enough to where the actual actress grows old enough to where she can take Iron Man's place. That would definitely be something.
Here's the funny thing. There was going to be like an older version of her originally with the actress. It was going to show an older version of her in the Soul Stone realm, with when Tony does a snap, but they cut it out because it was too confusing and it felt redundant in comparisons to Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. But yeah, that's just definitely what my thoughts were on that one, though. It's just that she had many of the great lines. Shit! No, that's Mommy's word.
Yeah. It's
saying,
such a
like,
great
when
movie.
He was bringing Cap Shield back, he's like, also I have to get this out of the garage, because otherwise Morgan was going to take it out sledding.
It's just a funny thing.
So definitely made it. Or like, Mommy told me to come save you. Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah. It's such a great movie. I wish I could see it again.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to see it again, though. I mean, it's just that it was just such a
10 out of 10. 10 out of fucking 10.
I mean, honestly,
be sure to see the other movies.
This is why, honestly, the people who have been saying about the Avengers movies being the Marvel Star Wars, the modern generation Star Wars, I kind of think is the most apt thing, because even though Star Wars is definitely still very omnipresent in the culture, we haven't really had this big of a media impact since Star Wars, really.
Yeah, it made the most money. Like, it surpassed Titanic. It made over $1 billion.
And the fastest one to do it too. I mean, depending on how it goes, it may even do so. And even seeing James Cameron, I at least like that he appreciated it and just said, "Hey guys, congratulations on why you did this." Yeah. I really dislike that a lot of people are trying to go like, "Oh man, he's just being illegitimate though. He's just probably lying about this whole thing to save face." When it's like, even if a director doesn't like any particular movie, they're not going to disparage other directors for it. They still respect when they do really great things.
It's all about professionalism.
It's a very director's tradition. I mean, Star Wars, Steven Spielberg did that with George Lucas when the original Star Wars came out. George Lucas did that to Steven Spielberg when E.T. became big. And then I believe it was the Russo brothers, or whoever was doing the other Marvel movies, or even Disney itself possibly, they ended up giving a notice when Jurassic World ended up really smashing records, and then when Jurassic World lost to The Force Awakens, they gave that thanks to it.
I think The Force Awakens came before Jurassic World.
Force Awakens came after Jurassic World came out, because of the fact that they were released in December. But even still, they were congratulating them on their huge performance on it. And yeah, it's just, from what I've seen of history, it's just a very director's tradition. If you see someone who managed to make a film that surpassed even a very high-grossing film of yours, you say, "Hey guys, congratulations. I want to say thanks and great work that you guys did."
Yeah.
It's just a very director's thing to do, and I just don't honestly know how anyone can try to go look at it and just go, "Yeah, you totally
go conspiracy theory." Let me put on my tinfoil hat.
Like, do I think that James Cameron, at least what I can see of his history, isn't a dick? I mean, probably, though. I mean, looking at his history, there really wasn't anything where ruthless was not a part of his vocabulary.
Really?
Yeah, because looking on it, as Arnold Schwarzenegger said, even though he respected it but said it came with its downsides, when he works on a project, his main attitude is, get the fuck out of my way when I'm committed to it.
Yeah, good person. Seems
So
a very headstrong person, right?
So I would say, at least from what I could see, he's certainly a person who is passionate about what he does, and I think that he's a great director. Again, he's definitely made some of my most favorite movies ever, and he's definitely a hell of a producer. But yeah, that's not to say that he's perfect by any means.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's why I'd say, though, that honestly, from the impact that his movies have made on me, and definitely researching how he did things, yeah, I would definitely be sad to see him go. Was he a great person? I would leave that up to the people who actually met him to decide.
Yeah.
But kind of just like other people, I just really dislike that if we ever say, like, when someone dies, we have to be in this, oh my god, they were this patron saint, the world is insanely lost without it, or oh my god, what a devil, I'm glad he's dead, instead of just what the more real answer is, which is just that they're just a deep, complicated person like everyone else is.
Yeah. You ever seen the trailer, the latest trailer for Far From Home?
I have, actually. And definitely from Peter, I'm glad that we're going to be seeing those effects of it, because I really would like to see how exactly the events of it shook up the other characters outside of just the giants, though, like we saw in the other Avengers movies, seeing exactly how it affected people like Peter, how it affected maybe people like T'Challa and all the others, to see what it did.
We have to wait and see for these movies to come out, but one of the most interesting themes that caught my eye was not only the immediate aftermath with Peter trying to get over Tony's death, but also the existence, the confirmation of a multiverse.
Honestly, the multiverse wasn't really new to Far From Home. It was mentioned first in Thor: The Dark World, and then Doctor Strange also mentioned it. But it seems that for a lot of people, this is probably the first time it'll actively be a focus of the movie, rather than just a detail that existed.
The weirdest thing that I've seen is like people insisting that this version of Mysterio might be lying or something. I don't know.
Could he be? I'm not going to pretend that it's out of the question.
It's not.
But I wouldn't exactly.
That's
what I think of it is that it could be possible, but even if he's lying, that doesn't maybe mean he's not lying about the multiverse, but maybe he's just lying about him being the good guy of his universe.
Yeah, we just had to wait and see until the movie comes out.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Oh shit! I did not know how much more the excavator power armor increased carry weight.
100. Yeah, crazy, huh?
Like I'm at 370 now, when I was at 190 earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 190 because I went up for the 30 pounds that was there. But shit, damn, I did not know. This is actually really good then. At least I now know what's going to be my go-to power armor from here on. At least when it comes to the ones I'm expecting really long hauls from.
Yeah. Really annoying when you have to carry, when you find yourself carrying too much stuff. Anyway,
so that's basically what I thought of stuff like that, of those things on it. So for me, I definitely just really hope that we end up for this one. And honestly, I kind of feel like I actually would call Endgame, in my opinion, a masterpiece on it. As far as people who would often want to be reserved on it, I feel like a lot of people are actually way too reserved on what exactly they would call a masterpiece. Because honestly, it feels like a lot of people don't really want to be the first to make that call, and instead only do it when it feels like you won't be, for some reason, mocked on it. Like, basically, the last movie these people want to say is a masterpiece just because a lot of people loved it was The Dark Knight, which I do think is one. But honestly, it feels like we should stop being so reserved on it and just say, like, when we have a very huge phenomenon like this, that we can't just say, yeah, guys, it was a masterpiece. What else would I call it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's really nothing that has ever rivaled what the Marvel movies have, and possibly won't for a long time. And sort of like Kaiser Neko was saying, a YouTuber that I follow, was saying on this, that even though that for a lot of them, maybe he doesn't love it as much as some other people, he still says that he dislikes when a lot of people say that, oh, this is just safe stuff, though, and takes no passion in it. When it's like, as he even said, that like he has seen that there's so much passion that is found in any of the the single movies that he's seen. Yeah,
there's a lot of passion in pretty much a lot of the movies, if not all.
So yeah, for me, I honestly always find that a very, stupid thing to try to put out for it, because I honestly can't really see a scenario where that isn't really just a really awesome, just some really talented stuff that people who actually love this stuff wouldn't want to do. Really, I say in general, whatever you could say about any movie, even if it's one you don't like, I would say under no circumstances should you ever say anything along the lines of, oh, these people really didn't care about it. They absolutely do. Are there lots of things that go wrong with it? Absolutely. But to ever insist that, oh, they definitely don't care about whatever movie that they're doing. No, they absolutely do. It's just that occasionally, especially in the bad ones, it's just wrong decisions were made, and it unfortunately led to that. Yeah. And trust me, when it comes to the backlash of any movie that comes out, no one feels more shamed over it than the people who actually made it.
Yeah.
It's often why I despise narratives where people try to say only certain people care but not others. No, anyone who's in the creative process, they absolutely do care, and they don't want to make some movie that's outright bad. I mean, are there definitely some dim-witted decisions that go in? Sure. I mean, even though the Sonic movie wasn't exactly a bad decision, I mean, if you could make the Lego movie good, you could pretty much make a property movie out of anything good.
Yeah.
But honestly... So this is why I don't really say the existence of a Sonic movie is bad, because come on, the Lego movie, something that really has not had much of anything outside of some video game spin-off though, and even then they were more closer to parodies than anything else, and maybe some movies that were kind of Lego oriented, but aside from that,
like Star Wars,
nothing really much else though. So the fact that Lord and Miller were able to make a fantastic movie out of nothing more than what was,
and they got a sequel,
just a kids movie.
It's too bad I haven't seen and a sequel. A bit of a repeat. I haven't got around to. Oh shit! I picked the.
So honestly, I'm like, if you could make something good out of the Lego movie, I'm convinced you can make something good out of any property. But my problem was, well, obviously the problems for Sonic is that it just looks like it was just having every wrong-headed though. Aside from Sonic's design just looking very terrible, it was also things like Jim Carrey. Even though they're trying to go with this wacky kind of vibe that Jim Carrey was really known for in the 90s, which again a lot of people got sick of and still feel so out of place for it. Yeah. And just in general, the story just feels like outside of that, it's just a movie you've seen before. It's just with Sonic instead.
Oh crap! Another. Okay. Oh shit! Here we go. Here you go again.
And okay, I'm gonna leave this server so that way my nuke, the nuke does not destroy my house.
Wait, what did you just? What did you just say?
Yeah, it's gonna be on my. A nuke is gonna be on my house. Yeah.
Okay, I'm blocking out as well.
Real quick, because I do not want to spend materials rebuilding that place.
Yeah, I'm leaving the world as well. Might as well be on the same server anyway. So anyway, yeah, I heard decent things from critics about the Pikachu movie, but from fans, I heard that it had a better reception among the fans. Yes.
Yeah, I would say from it, I've seen it generally getting good reviews with the here and there bad review attached with it. But generally, it's just regarded from what I've seen of everyone as the first good video game movie.
Yeah.
Though a lot of people often feel
the first Mortal Kombat, movie was, from what I've heard, was actually pretty decent.
But a lot of people often feel that it's a bit iffy to go and say that it's the first good video game movie, because a lot of people feel like that it doesn't really classify it, because Pokemon has been more of multimedia. But honestly, I still consider it, considering Pokemon is still most famous for only the games and the animated show.
I have not seen the anime in a long time.
Oh, I did. As a kid, it was the Saturday morning cartoon I would always wake up to.
Same, and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Or even when I would go to, or even before I went to school, before me and my brother would go in, we would always watch episodes, and we'd always throw them on 5 more minutes, just so we could just keep watching the episode. That was on at the time. Yeah,
it was the first thing my brother and I would do when we wake up on Saturdays. Go on WD Kids and watch like Pokemon. I think it's on Sunday, but whatever.
WB Kids, back when that was a thing.
Yeah.
The memories.
Yeah. Okay. Let me invite you. Okay. Let me send an invite. Another invite.
Yeah, because I'm like, I do not want my house nuked. Make sure that it's not in the nuke zone before you send me that invite. It's no around nukes. The White Spring area.
I know. Different server.
White Spring. Okay.
No nuke zones.
Yeah, because I do not want to spend materials going back in there.
You could easily just move it to a different spot, but
no, because I prefer the one at the White Spring, so that way I'm always close to the Enclave bunker.
Yeah. Yeah. So this game has received quite a bit of hey there, random player. I'm gonna wave hello. Anyway,
yeah, this game has definitely been doing better for it, and I think that they've definitely been improving a lot of their things. Like for one, I see that now for newer players, they've started not doing that thing in the beginning. Because I still remember when this game first came out, it was not really good at having the enemies level up with you, because very frequently I would fight enemies higher than my level.
Oh,
I was just going.
I remember that. I was like raging at one point when I came out getting swarmed by scourge beasts. Fucking scourge beasts.
Yeah, and also the rad scorpions as well, though, because your options were either you had to kill them or they would kill you. Oh, and if they kill you, I hope you didn't carry any valuable loot with you while that happened, because otherwise you're out of luck.
Yeah, and the shops and the vending machines that you can set up, very convenient. Yeah. Like missing if you can had trouble finding I'm getting a swarm of low flies at my location. And I'm shooting, so, and I could have been.
That was definitely just a really annoying thing to always deal with.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm at my camp. Couldn't find anything that you want to get in a fundamental event or.
You have to send me an invite, Nord. You have to send me an invite so I can go there, because otherwise I have to pay to go to your camp.
Fair point.
Right, yeah. Perfect.
So, one of the writers from I think from Polygon or Tokatu Polygon was asking people on Twitter to send her like little testimonies about the vending machine. I was more than happy to tell her my take. Though I was curious as to why, and she said that she just wanted to learn more about what's going on. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's not an article that's released now yet. It's just a thing that she's like, hey, what's your take on the vending machine mechanic that they recently put in, though?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would say this is their biggest update, because I haven't really kept track of all of them, but I do think it's still quite a sizable update. Yeah. I do like the vending machine stuff, because I actually have been buying stuff, and I've even made a little bit of money myself with it.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I told her that I haven't gotten much traffic, but I did get some money. I
just only feel, though, that the main thing that prevents the vending machine thing from being great is that I need it to be to where it's not really such a worry for people to spend caps, because the only way you're going to sell things in the vending machines is to basically sell things super dirt cheap to where you won't really get much money, but your options are either get little or no money at all.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a 10% tax, and I could have her help by making a joke like, what? No, what? There's a taxation
like,
without representation.
On my thing, though, for instance, so like I just recently came across a Gatling gun, which I put into my store because I have no use for it. And for there, I only can sell it at 420 caps, whereas if it was in any of the NPC stores, it would have been selling it to me easily well over 1,000. But I have no choice, though, because people are so guarding with their caps, they will not spend anything if it's 1,000 caps or more, unless you have like a really amazing legendary weapon.
Yeah, happens to me a couple times actually.
So that's where I would say for me, like, I feel like the main thing holding it back is really not so much with the vending machine itself, but rather by how people acquire caps, because
people are really protective for their shit.
To acquire in this game.
Yeah,
and especially really because this is a game that wants you to spend caps in large quantities. It's not good when the large quantities it asks for are just not sustainable for what you can do, because you're going to be cagey, because you also need those caps to travel around the wasteland. Yeah. That's why, like, for me, I have to have at least 500 cap surplus for traveling fees.
And I also have the travel agent perk. Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot to switch my perk cards again. All right, I'm sharing it.
For me, I'm waiting until that becomes available, but it just hasn't come across me yet.
All right, I'm sharing the bodyguards perk. That means you have a higher damage resistance.
Perfect.
Yeah, nice, huh? I haven't got to the enclave yet, but I am on the free states quest line.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I still want to try to find the plants for the metal extractors, because I really want to get some of these.
Metal extractors? Metal extractors? Yeah. You get these automatically if you're near a resource.
Wait, if I'm what?
If you're near a resource, like steel.
Well, then how the heck does that? Because I've never been able to see that anywhere when I've placed the camp here.
I don't know. I don't know why.
Alright, well then I'll just have to go and try to find them better.
Yeah, you just have to...
I'm not going to buy anything because I'm still low on caps, so I still just want to see what you have on sale.
Sure, go ahead. Take a look.
Oh shit, actually. I'm going to buy that Gold Slayer's wood piece because I at least could use that one.
Thanks. Yeah. Courtesy of 10%.
Deep Pocketed is something I'd really like, but I want it for combat armor, but I can't find it for combat armor anywhere.
Let me see if I can add in a couple, Oh, shit! Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put in some, more plants. I hope, Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put in for about 100 caps. 100 caps for Excavator Motion Assist Servos. I'm not
Motion Assist Servos?
Yep, for our power armor, current power armor thing.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I'll take any plans or mods or whatever on power armors that you can come across. Because again, I don't like that there are plans that you can buy, but the problem is that they run 5,000 plus caps and I can't afford it.
I know.
This is why for me, I feel like as much as I don't like for fixes though, it feels to me that either things should be cheaper or the cap gain has to be better. Because otherwise it just feels like you can't really get anything with it.
Yeah, you can't win. Yeah, but otherwise...
What did you just recently put into your store?
More recipes and, plants. Not sure if you... I'm not sure.
Oh, I actually do know the motion assist servos. Oh, I didn't know I did that.
Funny.
Yeah, it turns out apparently I already knew that plan, which I didn't know I did.
Yeah, Sly probably says that we need the unique properties from a from ground zero of a nuke.
Oh, and I even have it equipped already. Oh, okay. That's probably why I have 390 as well, because I guess the extra strength just helped out more.
Yeah. What else is there to talk about? Oh, speaking of Fallout 76, I heard there's this like really weird group of players who call themselves EAT. They're cannibals.
Who come what?
Role-playing cannibals. They're called EAT. EATT.
That's really weird, but okay.
Yeah, Polygon made an article about that. It was like, well, this is the weirdest thing to wake up to.
Well, you got that right.
Yeah. So basically, they, you know, the White Lotus, the White Lotus Society in New Vegas, they're kind of like that, except without the fancy suits.
Right.
I can tell you're weirded out by this.
Yeah, that's definitely not news I was aware of.
It's probably most likely going to be prevalent on the computer version, because Bethesda on computer these days.
I'm at least glad that with the Enclave power armor, that you at least don't have to buy it, though. You just get the plans to build it automatically when you learn, after you do that certain quest.
Yeah. Oh, I fought like multiple Scorch Peace Queens with not on my own, of course. The third time, it was earlier today.
I feel like I'm gonna have to set my camp closer to a water source so I can do the large purifiers, though.
Yes.
If I grab, can I grab 5 waters from one of them anyway?
Sure. Help yourself. They respawn, so I don't mind.
Perfect. Thank you on that.
Yeah. Yeah. These industrial purifiers are useful. Holy God.
Yeah, because I have the small industrial ones, and I think they're good. But I think on top of those, I'm going to have to also get near some water so that I can go and use these so I can get even more water as well. Because people tell me that a good way of making caps is also to sell water. So it turns out I'm going to have to make a place so I can just make more of these.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like 2 or 3 might be enough for me, but some people love to build more.
Well, yeah, because again, though, for a lot of people, their main currency will just be selling water to merchants, and I can see why. Because me, even though when I had as many as 40 waters, even just selling is only like because I always have 15
That
on
is
me at any
funny.
given time.
That is funny if you look at
And
how
that-
things went canonically in the Fallen universe.
Yeah, I know, because water was the main way to get capstone. It was the main thing that held water. In fact, the water merchants in Fallout 1 mainly held their authority over the hub because of its importance.
Yeah, it's like that's a really, really funny way of reflecting canon, referencing canon. It's like,
So definitely, it's just a big, like, yeah, it's a really crazy thing to think about.
indeed. All right, I'm dealing with a legendary super mutant overlord. Seeing any events going on? Remember the time that you forgot to get your fusion cores for the
Oh yeah, originally I got them now, but yeah, that's the thing. Like I came with them, but aside from the fusion core and the power armor itself, I forgot to bring one with me.
He's like,
I've started
whoops.
finding more of these though as time has gone on because the game seems to have gotten more fortunate in actually giving me fusion cores, and also because I put myself on a perk that actually eliminates the extra energy you use from sprinting, so at least that makes them last longer. And also I found the battery cooling perk, so that way the energy cores won't weigh as much, because 3 pounds really weighs up when you're trying to at least have some extra ones on you.
Oh yeah.
So thanks to, I'm only on the second rank, but the next time I level up, I'm gonna get into their final rank. And currently they're only like 1.2 pounds, so making it to 90%, they'll be less than a pound each.
Yeah, third. Like less than the third. Like I'm being whacked to death in it by. I remember in Fallout 4 where
Right now?
I am at a random location. I'm not even near my where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, just trying to look for you because I have no idea where you went.
Yeah.
Oh, I found you.
Have you tried out the nuclear shine? That thing is crazy.
Oh, I did, though.
That thing is crazy.
Oh, you could definitely say that. I actually really love that quest. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Especially the whole blackout phase, because I'm like, why does this feel so familiar? And I thought
It's
to
like
myself, like, this kind of
Skyrim.
reminds me of that Skyrim quest, where you drink that alcohol and you, like, pass out. Next thing you know, you woke up in Markarth, you asked some rich person to marry you, you apparently trashed the
church?
Lady Mara temple. Yeah, that church thing. You apparently messed that up really badly. Among other crazy things. He's like, oh yeah, I just did that to you just for fun.
That one was
like,
crazy.
yeah, that's why the Nuka Shine thing, what it reminded me of so much.
So one time, I drank the nuclear shine and I found myself in the middle of nowhere in a cart full of dead people. And it's like, do I even want to know what I did here? And my brother snarked, "Oh, you're on your way to Skyrim." That made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, that was definitely it. Especially the whole, like, sort of hybrid between drunk and high robo-brain that exists in the basement. That was definitely just some grade A comedy right there.
Yeah. And some people say Bethesda can't write. Yeah.
Honestly, I never try to take advice from people who try to fasten themselves as writers when what they would make would be as bad, if not worse, than whatever they could make.
Yeah, I remember,
Like again, this is why, like, one of the things that often annoys me is anytime they always try to say something along the lines of, I want writers to do something that's original, when for me, original has always been a very vague term that means nothing.
Original. How
without
very
any
original.
context
Yeah.
around it.
Hey, I want to do something original. How very original.
Like, okay, like original in what context, though? Because very often I find what people mean original is thing I was not exposed to.
Good point. Alright, I'm in the bunker and I am bunkering
Yeah, I
out.
see. That's why for me, I've always disliked when people use terms like that, because there's really no substance to it, and I know that they code for, or at least that what they mean by being original, they actually just mean thing I have not personally seen.
Yeah.
And also because it's a very superficial means of it, because whenever I see people when I try to see the people who say about original stuff, their only dues are apparently it's not based on a prior IP, and it's not a sequel to something. And for me, it feels like, okay, well, that doesn't really narrow it down. I view original the same way as I would imagine if I sent someone to go and buy a car. If I, Connor, sent you $50,000 and told you, buy me a car, what does that mean?
Any car that doesn't surpass the money that that doesn't surpass.
No, but I mean, like, if I just like give you $50,000 and just tell you to buy me a car within that range, how would you possibly know what car I need?
I don't. I just
imagine if I just said, I don't know, something original. Like, exactly, you have no idea what that would mean. Like, what exactly that entails.
Sorry.
Again, that's why I say for that, though. And in general, I would just like people to just at least be specific in what they want. And also, what I think I would appreciate most, if they were just honest about what it is that they actually want.
Yeah.
Look, if you want to say that you want all your games to be a certain amount of content and having this or that, fine, but just be honest with it. Don't do some bullshit where you're going to talk about how you really care about quality over quantity, but then when any game seems like it apparently doesn't have a certain amount of hours, that apparently now you get it, you're just like, oh my god, this is outrageous. I thought that quality or quantity didn't matter to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, it does. Okay, just say that it matters.
I know I get a little hung up. I've been a little hung up with Andromeda, and every time I express my disappointment or frustration with the game, someone will come and say, "Well, it's not like the it's not the trilogy you're expecting for." It's like, no, it's about the execution this game has.
I mean, yeah, that's more fine though if it's something like that, because it doesn't do so. I mean, Andromeda, I liked most of the content that was there, though I do feel it had a little bit too much of the a lot of the just time waste requests though for my taste. But I still felt like whatever, it feels fine at least for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely see what you're getting at.
Yeah. Ugh. And I have to
definitely understand when it comes to things like that. But again, I'm talking about when people seem fine, satisfied with what the content is, but complain that there's not enough of it, to where I just said, again, it's just I thought that the quality was what mattered, not the quantity. Again, if quantity does matter, where you're just like, hey, look, even though I want quality, I still want a lot of stuff to do in it, that's fine. Just say that.
Yeah. Do you often
don't say something that's there.
Do you often see people?
I kind of think of this in the same way of politics. Like, just understand what you're asking for, and if you seem still on board with it, then that's fine.
Oh god, I remember my senator, one of my senators being really stupid with the Green New Plan. Even though that I have reservations about it, I can come up with better.
What was that again?
Mike Lee. Do you remember that guy?
No, not really. Again, I don't live in Utah.
He was on the national news, at least on the internet side of things, when he made really pretty stupid comparisons.
Wait, memory may be coming back to me. Can you describe what was the exact
make comparisons between the Green New Deal and like Tauntauns from Star Wars, Aquaman for.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
I called his office. I called his office, and it's been a while. It's like
oh my god, that shit had me dying. I was just like, no. When I saw that post on Twitter, I'm like, no, this did not happen. Someone has to be making this up. That has to be Photoshop that I'm looking at right now.
No, it's so real. It's like, I said like I told one of them to say it's like. I would tell that he's an idiot right in the front of the face, and even I can come with better reasons against the Green New Deal.
Oh shit, yeah, now that comes full circle. I still can't believe that was a thing that actually happened. And like, this wasn't like a joke skit on SNL, like this was a real thing a senator did without any kind of joke to it.
Like, are you stupid?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, looking up news, gaming news right now, Polygon. I've heard that, back to Pokemon, Detective Pikachu, I heard that it was filmed on, film. Sorry about the redundancy.
No, it's right though. I still don't know exactly what that means, but
It
at
uses
least I
like
know a lot
some
of
of the
people are saying that.
like using a digital camera use like more traditional more traditional like film, like little.
Honestly, if there's one thing I often dislike when it comes to film discourse, I often dislike when it comes to people often trashing on CG and often acting like practical effects is the default thing.
Yeah,
Because from my experience of seeing many movies that had either dodgy or outright bad practical effects, I've always found that bad practical effects have always thrown me off just as much as any bad CGI take is. Like, look, the first Terminator is easily one of my most favorite movies, and obviously, while it's not as good as the second, I still love that movie to death. I've watched it dozens of times. I can basically remember every scene almost verbatim. Yet, even still, the scene where we see the Terminator's exposed eye, it's very obvious that the face is not Arnold's.
yeah.
So like even seeing it though, and it especially isn't made any better when the scene it can be followed up immediately after with the real Arnold's face, and you can tell the difference night and day. It's not just that the skin on the animatronic model is still very obviously fake, but also other things like how aside from head movement, it never blinks nor does it ever move any of its other face muscles. Whereas when you see Arnold in the very next real scene, he's moving his face muscles a little bit. You can see his lips move. You can often still see, just in general, real human movement.
Yeah. I see like similar points like Kyle Green of Projared High and the people.
Wait, you saw who?
Kyle Green, Projared High. Ever heard of him?
I haven't actually.
Yeah, he looks into more like art house type films and analysis of of things and other topics, and
what did he say about it?
Pretty jokey. It's been a while. I also like to point out Rocket Jump and the case of CGI. Okay, what am I supposed to be looking for in here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember Rocket Jump. They made a really good video on that, and I'm glad that he did, because I'm always saying, like, yeah, I really dislike when people often do so, because great CGI effects, like, say, what you've seen in both Guardians films or many of the Marvel movies, yes, they've always looked fantastic to me, and they've looked just as good, if not better, than other ones, though. And I often feel like CGI can often end up doing things better than practical would, bringing up Terminator again, but this time with its sequel. When we see the ending scene where the Terminator is just, where it's half of its face is exposed, I mean, even though that it's still a very emotional scene, a very slight sort of bothering to me is always how Arnold's eye is very clearly looking either at a person's face or other directions, but the right eye with the Terminator eye is only looking in one direction when his other eye is very clearly moving. The narrative doesn't ever say the eye is damaged, it just is a normal one, and it always manages to distract me just a little bit.
I think it's more have to do with the limitations of the effects than anything else.
But even still, like, you'd have to get pretty far in the future before something wasn't there, though. Whereas conversely in Terminator 3, where we see a very similar thing, like with the exposed eye again, but it looks much better, but because it's CGI, his eye and the rest of his face actually moves with it, so it looks more natural.
Yeah.
And before anyone comes at me, no, I'm not saying Terminator 3 was better, but I'm just saying in that one sort of effects compositing, it looks better because the CGI works better than a practical eye.
Oh, back to Endgame. What do you think of what happened to Steve Rogers at the end, where he either went to...
I personally felt like it was the best way to end his character, and even though it seemed confusing in the beginning, there was just one thing that honestly made it resolve for me, and it's that the Steve Rogers who was stuck in the ice still exists. He didn't go away.
Yeah.
Though it doesn't mean that the events still couldn't happen in the order that they happened.
Here's a bit of a lingering question. Did that happen in an alternate timeline, or did it actually happen in the main timeline?
No, same timeline. Again, just because Steve Rogers went back in time doesn't mean the one that was still in the ice doesn't exist anymore.
There's actually conflicting answers between the writers and the director. it makes things a little
I
bit...
feel like because they're doing too much of a rush, and I feel like they were just overthinking it. Whereas when I was even just thinking about it a little, I went, "Yeah, wait a minute. It doesn't mean that the Steve Rogers, who was trapped in the ice after when fighting Red Skull, just disappeared. I mean, he's still in the ice. It's just that an alternate Steve Rogers came in, just like how when the in-universe Gamora, when she kills the ultimate not Gamora, Nebula, when she kills the other Nebula." It's kind of the same thing. Her killing her doesn't mean that the other one goes away.
So I think I remember the writers went the answer that Steve Rogers went to an alternate timeline where he spent a lifetime with Peggy Carter.
I feel like he was just overthinking it, and even still, it's just the writers who can have their opinions on what happened. But it's just something that I've always personally viewed from it.
I feel that he went to an alternate timeline because if he went back in time in the main timeline, that would probably confuse things a little bit. It's a good thing they established how time travel works in the movie.
So yeah, it's just things like that which kind of just made me go, just don't overthink it really. Or in my case, I often just say when it comes to anything, even if it seems confusing, I say, just go with it.
That reminds me, you ever read a webcomic called Manly Guys Doing Manly Things? They did time travel at one point, and one of the characters said, here's rule number 1 of time travel. Don't think about it. And then bad things happen when
time travel, since it's a thing that doesn't exist, I say just kind of roll with it, with whatever goes in. I feel like, honestly, it's better when you under-explain it over.
And bad things happen later on in this arc because the other character thought about the time travel, and it's like, damn it, and the character who told her about it is like, god damn it. It's just a kind of funny thing, and then...
I mean, I feel it was good, at least, holding it as a joke, where they often are trying to say for it, like, so Back to the Future was a bunch of bullshit. But, I'm saying, for me, though, I would say that I do like stuff like that, because, it's still fun to at least go and poke fun at, when it's, things that are there, so that way we could just go, oh, yeah, though, that's kind of funny. But, it doesn't... Even though it kind of gets hung up so that they could try to explain, but I kind of feel like, again, it's just that thing that is just best as a just go with it kind of thing.
Speaking of funny stuff, a while ago when I wrote one of my first fanfics, like, give me a second, let me look for the... so, I wrote this little things like, danger, high radiation area. Do not enter unless you have adequate protection. TLD is supplemental DOS meter required for entry. And then, next after that, is like, below the sign that read, fuck like a Krogan. And my character, my career, well, equipped. Well, that's sweet of them. So what do you think?
So, yeah.
So I think of what I put in, like...
That sounds good, though. At least it gave me a good laugh, though.
Fuck like a Krogan. Because, you know, of the little, fight like a Krogan?
Yeah. I still remember that. It's just when it comes to Krogan, though, the one that often, makes me laugh the most is mainly when it's in the interrogation of Mass Effect 2, where you can threaten, the guy, I can't remember what his name was, it's during...
Thane's loyalty mission. Thane's loyalty mission.
Yeah, exactly. Where you could just say, like, if you don't talk, I'll cut your balls off and sell them to a Krogan.
Shit. Okay, I think I see a legendary, blood bug. Oh, these things are lovely. Not only they can drain your health and heal, they also mutate and heal when their health is low. Too bad I killed them. What the fuck just happened? Before I knew it, I got killed. Like, suddenly got killed.
So, yeah, that's kind of just my general thing about that whole stick of it.
It's like, suddenly...
Oh shit, someone actually purchased my Gatling laser. Fucking awesome.
Nice. Hey, is it a legendary one?
It wasn't a legendary one, it was just a standard Gatling laser. It's just one I came across, though, just in my travels. But I wasn't going to use it because I wanted to use my fusion cores just to go in, use as power for my power armors. But for me, I'm just like, hey,
power of the power armor.
Basically. Because again, Gatling lasers would take up way too much power, and I can't just replace them on the fly like I could on 4. So, kind of didn't feel like I wanted to waste what precious ones I have. And building them is way too resource intensive, so that really wasn't an option either. Unlike something like, say, Radaway, where I actually could build them pretty frequently if I wanted to.
Ah, crap. A running solution is kind of glitched out. Give me a sec. Oh.
Alright, I'm going to get myself a new weapon to complement the power armor, though. I want to get something a bit stronger.
Yeah, when I went to when I went up against the Queen Torch Beast, I realized I forgot ammo and the weapon that I got from somehow a survival challenge while on the regular server. That one Gatling gun.
What happened?
So I apparently did a survival challenge on a normal mode, and I got a weapon out of it.
Yeah, it can occasionally happen. If you see a crown on an enemy that you're facing, it very likely means that they're going to have...
No. I did a challenge that was meant for survival in normal mode. Sorry that mode things up. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine though. Yeah, I just came here because I wanted to actually get a Gatling gun that had a cool legendary attachment to it. So I wanted to go and try that out for myself. Oh, and also got a 50 cal machine gun too. So,
nice. Do you want to hear the funniest thing I ever found at one of the camps?
What?
A mounted head of a Yaguai and the portable toilet. It's on my screen right now.
What the hell?
Yeah. Hey, hang on. Let me. Okay. I'll load this up. Make a screenshot of it and send it to you. It's.
All right.
It kind of defies words.
It clearly sounds like it does.
Yeah. Taking a screenshot. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Also, try to mod my Gatling laser as well. My Gatling gun as well. I say Gatling laser too frequently because I'm not used to a straight up Gatling gun being in this game. This is the first one that had it after all.
Alright, sending. Never mind. Give me a second. It's uploading in just a bit. Yeah, the outright head in the portable toilet. You don't see that every day. Just like...
Pretty sure I don't.
it's like a kind of wackiness you expect to see at times in Fallout. Like with the teddy bears for some reason. What's with the teddy bears? In particular positions? I don't know. They're there. And there are just no words for it. Just like... Ooh, a teddy bear. Snatch. Maybe I could use this as either like something to sell or in Fallout 4. Crafting! This is taking too long. Share. Fuck, I'm gonna share it to Twitter. Oh, thank God. Okay. I kind of packed further there for a second. Oh God, I thought it closed off the game. Oh my God, that would have been embarrassing. You there?
On the future, I'm definitely going to have to get lead so I can start making 50 caliber bullets so I can actually start using the 50 cal machine gun because I definitely would really want to try using that thing.
Do you need lead, by the way? I think I got plenty.
I'll do that some other time. For the meantime, I'll just go ahead the auto mission because I'm using my Gatling gun that's 5mm in the meantime because it has a trait where it's 25% faster speed when using it and also ignores 50% of the enemy's armor.
Oh, that's a very useful armor legendary trait.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, oh shit, 50%. Well then, man, I could kill a lot of things, even Scorch Beast with this thing much more easily.
I got a I got a lever action armor piercing.
The only thing I was not able to attach to it was only the the extended magazine for this because of I was just 3 screws short. So I'm just basically using a standard one for this. But
Screwed
you know
over?
what? 250 rounds. That's
Funny enough, I got more than
3
enough screws to screw someone over.
That's awesome. So yeah, but I think for now 250 will satisfy me.
Yeah. Alright. Have you seen anything
Oh
interesting?
shit! This thing is definitely super awesome.
Yeah.
The minigun's a little more fun to use, but damn, this thing actually really is though. At least when in more medium range combat.
Have you seen anything interesting while on the internet, like with gaming news and stuff?
What do you mean?
Oh, like news that caught your ear that haven't caught mine, that sort of thing.
Oh, I think I may have, but I'm not sure.
What is it? Okay, where is the relay?
That's why I said I'm not sure though. It's just this Gatling gun. I just found it off of one of the random legendary encounters that I had.
Nice. Nice.
It's just the only thing I'm missing from this is that one I put the extended magazine so that I can reload less. But unfortunately, though, again, 3 screws short, so I'm just going with 250. But 250 is still a lot of ammunition to hold. Like, the enemy has to be really freaking durable, like a Scorch Beast, to actually go and reload mid-fight.
Reloading. I got. Have you ever played Left 4 Dead? Like the Left 4 Dead games? I only played the second one, if I remember right.
Left 4
Dead.
Life for Dead, was it?
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
I played the second one for with my cousins a few times, and it was pretty fun though.
Yeah, same with my brother and Left 4 Dead 2. I tried the PC version, and one time, get this, there were like Mass Effect themed mods that basically turns Nick into male shepherd, Ellis into Garrus, that sort of thing. And Tally and Rochelle into Tally, and
damn.
And
this thing is really fucking strong.
Wait till you see my shotgun. It's getting harder to overpower shotgun.
Damn, I'm gonna take this thing around with me way more often.
My shotgun can kill most things in one hit. One hit. Craft upgraded mortars. All right. Where can I upgrade them at a tinker's bench?
Tinker's bench.
Tinker's bench. Yeah.
I don't know if there is one here.
I upgraded some game like this game called Rage 2. I tried out the first Rage game. You ever heard of a game called coming out Rage?
I was told the first Rage game wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But the second one I think is seen as good now.
Oh, I see Super Mutant.
At least
You probably heard,
I only
right?
saw one review. I think it was from Polygon, but I honestly wasn't sure if it was being sarcastic or serious.
Oh, because of the with the mutants.
Yeah, with the title that was on there, I wasn't sure if it was being like an actual good review or if it was just joking around, though.
I think they might be serious.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't ever planning on getting it, though, but even still, if people are liking it, I go, that's good to hear.
Yeah. Alright, I'm carrying 400 pounds. I can carry up to 400 pounds now, and okay, where should I go next? Ooh, there's... not sure where to go. Hey, I noticed that you were carrying like a Pioneer backpack. I seem to be having a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I finally finished the quest for it. It was a really tough thing, but I finally did it.
So, yeah, I'm having trouble finding an ally to revive. Can't you do something dangerous?
For that, what we can do is, let's go to a very combat-heavy area. I'll let myself die. Do you have stim packs on you?
I have more than enough stim packs to last multiple lifetimes.
Okay, perfect. So then basically, I'm just gonna let myself get killed, then you revive me, and then you get that done. I had my brother just let me do that for a month once. So let's
We can
go.
clear.
I'll take off. Well, first let me first take off the power armor, and then so I can put in my inventory.
Okay, where to? Let's try an event. They tend to be pretty combat heavy.
Dude, you can't take power armor. Calm down. And besides, this is way above your level anyway.
This is not what I expected to see. Oh yeah, there's a naked man in wood armor with an axe.
So I guess he wants to group up because we're probably super high level. So he's like, "Can you help me do things?"
That's pretty fast. I'm heading out to one of the events.
All right. I'll follow your lead.
Breach and clear. Yeah. Watch out for more men with missile launchers.
Where are you going to what's
Breach and clear.
To? The messenger?
Breach and clear.
Breach and clear. Where's that?
Just follow me. Just look me up and yeah.
Oh, I see you. Why'd you go all the way out here?
That's where it's at.
Location must be clear.
No, I mean, like, why'd you choose this event?
There are enemies. There might be enemies and ores. Lots of ores. And besides, you said you need lead?
Yeah, I could use some.
You're gonna get a shit ton of lead ores. And each ore gives you about 5 lead. Once it's melted at the chem station, of course. Alright, I found some enemies. Alright, are you traveling to me? I see you. Okay, I'm gonna lure them over.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lure them over to you.
I'm gonna go over to you. Let the enemies go and kill me, and then you can go and
before going over, just punch them or something. Because they are fixated on me.
Okay, that seems like it's not gonna work here.
No, there will be more enemies if we clear these up.
Yeah, it looks like they're not giving that many times soon.
So, wait for a sec.
Again,
Yeah, wait for a sec.
Clear
area hostiles. You might want to step back.
All workers, please evacuate to a safe distance immediately.
The toughest thing about this is to find a ski in the topmost containers. They're a pain in the ass to get up there.
Where are we supposed to stand behind, though, or safe distance, though?
Safe
like,
distance.
How far is that?
Check the map. Never mind. Don't. Never mind. It's not clear. Please don't let it. Aha.
Oh, okay, so it's that. Okay.
Breach complete. Initiating unloading procedure.
Okay, I'm gonna drink some whiskey in the jar.
Initial container batch unsealed.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh hey, I got caps.
Now.
Yeah, there's also a chance to gain some caps in there. Yeah, I am not kidding about the ore.
Additional agitators closing on breach.
Yeah, definitely. You are not kidding there.
Activate line defense procedure.
Well, I got everything I could get out of them.
Yeah, they take a bit. Someday I will get these containers up top. But apparently not this day. Alright. Not seeing enemies so far. Okay, let it beat you up. Let it beat you up.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna let him do that.
You're still healing!
No, it's just something else, I think. Taking off the stim pack one. I don't even... No, that healing was from the water. That was why. Because I had to hydrate.
Fair enough. Yeah, somehow water heals you. Drink of water.
Well, actually, water does, just not in a physical sense. Like, you won't be physically seeing it.
Yeah.
But being well hydrated does mean that you'll heal better.
This is like a very one-sided boxing match. Okay.
Right there.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, I got the objective completed.
Attention workers.
This is like a very twisted thing of, just like a very twisted loophole.
Oh, there's more that we can get from this. Oh, shit.
Yep. We gotta hurry though, because it's gonna go down soon. So grab as many as you
I would
can,
imagine.
and you're gonna have to do a lot of hopping. Ow! Watch out! Some of the morats can blow up.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are not kidding. So you'll get a lot of lead ore out of this.
Yeah. Downside, you may find yourself over encumbered.
Well, I got all the ones that I could get.
Yeah. Whoop. Right, they're at the top, aren't they? My shotgun packs the punch, in case you couldn't tell. I can kill most enemies in one hit. Most enemies. Ooh, almost there to leveling up. Alright. Let's see what I missed. It looks like I got most of them. Hey, did you get your share?
Yeah, I got my share.
Nice, and I'm... Great, I'm over encumbered again. This is like a bit of a running joke for me now. Alright. A couple of them are empty for me, strangely enough. Great.
Wait, can you actually get the ones that are at the very top?
If you have like a jetpack or... Ah, fuck, I forgot about this container. Oh well, at least we got plenty. I got an achievement out of this one, by the way. Ooh, level 79. Okay, glowing wolf mount rat is eating my shit. Watch this, I can kill this thing in one hit. I meant to go for the head. Boy will be displeased. Ow. Alright. Are you opening cover like I am? It's gonna be a bit of a long walk. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a long walk. Let's go to the nearest train station and Welch. Oh, hey, I didn't know you could do that.
Spinning. My batteries died.
Are you over encumbered? I am again.
I'm not over encumbered. Wait, let me put some power armor on so I can carry some of your stuff.
I'm good. I can easily walk. I just need to...
Alright, well I'm saying so you could fast travel.
I can't because I am over encumbered.
Yeah, so I'm saying let me carry some of your stuff so you can fast travel. And so you're not burning AP along with it.
Okay. Do you want to hear the craziest thing out of the battlefield battle royale thing? Tetris.
What?
Tetris 100. I think that's what it's called on the Switch.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, there's a DLC for the offline version. Weirdest thing ever seen.
Clearly.
Alright, get back here, you bastard. Okay, I wish... At times my waypoint shows up, other times it's like... Nope, didn't show up. It's on my map though, but...
I have to say, with how often that there are often clips to jump down to, like you're on an elevated position and jump down, it feels like the maps were made so that you would just wear power armor in it all the time.
Like in Fallout 4. Do you...
Sorta.
Yeah, you can like travel to Diamond City if you fall down from a great height. And land in there without a scratch. or in
No, if you want a better example, just use the Pridwin. Just jump from there onto the landing pad, and then you'll be completely fine.
Really? Like without power
I
armor?
tested it. I would go. Yeah, I would attach a set of power armor, jump from the Pridwin all the way down to the surface, and not one bit of damage would happen.
Oh, officer!
It really is serious. It's serious on the whole. You will not experience any death thing on there.
Okay, I get it. Do you remember do you remember a time when this game froze a lot? Like, do you remember a time when this game kept on freezing and crashing?
Oh yeah, the game's crashing. I remember all the time.
I was talking about Fallout 76. It's like it's a lot less irritating now.
No, I mean 76. I remember though.
Yeah.
Like the crashing for me was pretty bad. It was pretty common for me to be in the middle of a game and then just have it just crash, and then I just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, these days you will never really find a crash that much, if at all.
Yeah. I'm even surprised that that it persists with like bad reviews and the sales. I'm surprised.
But fortunately, the game is still clearly, because it's in the top 30 most played games on Xbox, so it's getting quite really good player numbers and revenue.
I'm surprised.
Especially considering its monetization model.
Yeah,
so at least it's still getting support, and it'll keep getting what it needs.
I remember stumbling upon a Polygon article about the dedicated fan base for that game. Player base, I should say, sorry.
Yeah, I know. The player base around this is easily the best one I've come across when it comes to a game. I regularly have people who just go and say hi. We just always email at each other. We do missions together. Very often we trade and we just do things like that. And it's just really fun playing with other people in this game. It feels really rewarding to be around other players.
Do you have similar experiences with Anthem? I know if we not Anthem.
And Anthem, people are still really cool there. I mean, no one really acts like a dick there, so I can't really. So honestly, it's pretty awesome in that regard.
The most annoying thing that I found with Anthem is like people are rushing.
Why are you jumping like you're on normal armor? You can just jump straight down.
That's what I just fell down.
No, I mean like you were jumping as if like you were in your normal suits though.
I wasn't.
Like you have power armor, you can just jump straight down.
I wasn't. Really, I wasn't. I swear I wasn't. Right, cover me while I while I scrap all this stuff. Ooh, syringer. I'm gonna kill Yao Guai with this thing. I love the design of this. Find it a little weird that somebody managed to mix up and airy in legendary.
Yeah, crazy to think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So have you looked some of the stuff for the new Avengers Ultimate Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, the third one? My brother and I have been...
the third one.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to it though. I mean, it's just I don't have a Switch, but still I'd like to see what's there, because I was never expecting a sequel to that game after 2. I mean, it just kind of seemed like it just wasn't going to happen. I mean, because the last one was released like really early Xbox 360.
Yeah. Fun memories, eh?
Oh, definitely. I remember playing that the first one all the time. The second one, not so much, because I didn't play the second one until way after that game saw release.
Okay, please don't let me get parasites. Please don't let me get parasites. Alright, all for 400 pounds, and okay, party poster. All the posters that we previously seen. Gonna remove the mark. I'm gonna go to my camp and do stuff, I guess. Ugh. Are you ever planning on getting Soul Calibur 6 now that you tried it out yourself?
Want to, but it's just, again though, I just have to mainly try to I have to save up enough money so I can go and get that, but I want to prioritize other ones.
Yeah,
like,
Microsoft rewards would help alleviate
like
some of the money issue.
MK11 and
Yeah.
such.
The Microsoft rewards should help alleviate at least a little bit because you can redeem
What
reward.
should?
Microsoft rewards. Basically, you can build up points and redeem them for stuff like gift cards. Yeah, that's. I did that on every occasion if I want to get something. I really don't want to spend a lot as much money as I would have regularly. Alright. Craft upgraded mortars. It's at the Tinker's Workbench, right? Wait. Okay, so I'm not in danger. And my character just like popped out immediately, so I thought, am I in danger? Two, one. Okay. Oh, you said you need Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey. By the way, I kind of need to wrap it up. It's been really fun playing with it, and wow, it's been a long episode.
Oh yeah, no problem. We can play next time on Sunday though for Anthem.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Also, one thing, do you say you have any screws you can give though?
Oh, yeah. Do you want some bulk lead?
Sure. I'll take that too if you have it.
Again,
Yeah. Just only give me what you can spare or what you're comfortable with sparing.
how does 100 loose screws sound?
Sounds amazing.
I'll give
How do
you.
you have so much?
I keep on finding them. I just got lucky.
I mean, I just keep looking all over, but I never come across those screws. Even when I'm buying them, they seem to always be just all over.
Okay.
Oh, found it. Perfect. Thanks, though. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Couldn't find. Yeah, it's been really fun, and I really appreciate spending the time playing. Looking forward to Sunday.
Oh yeah, no problem. As I said, Sunday we'll be doing this again. We'll just do Anthem instead, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's to everybody. Good night, and good night. Good night, Shadowhawk.
All right. Good night, Nord, and we'll definitely play next time.
Yeah.
See you guys Sunday.